Hey everyone, welcome to a brand new show in part with Capcom where we take some of our favorite moments of the Capcom Pro Tour and turn the beat back. My name is Vicious here with Alex Myers, and we're going to be taking a trip down memory lane, specifically where it all started with Street Fighter V. We're going back to 2016, but before we do, Myers, it's been a while. I hope you've been well practicing your social distancing or your social footsies, I guess. Tell the viewers at home what we have going on today.
Right, so today is a nostalgia show. We're going back to Capcom Cup 2016, like Vicious said. We're just trying to do something fun for you guys. There's no tournaments going on, so we figured we would just turn the beat back and go back to 2016, one of the biggest tournaments of the year, Capcom Cup 2016.
Yeah, that's right. This was a giant year for Street Fighter in general, right? All the hype was revolving around the release of this game, Street Fighter V. When is it coming out? It came out February in 2016. I remember all the buzz around it, where everyone was trying to get like the beta. A lot of us in specifically Southern California were going to Magic Mountain, Six Flags Magic Mountain to play the beta. Everybody was taking trips every single day.
Sweat pouring down our faces, just trying to get a demo game in. See me in Street Fighter V. A lot of those guys that were saying that, I don't really see them anymore. But yeah, so we're here, Capcom Cup 2016.
Yeah, so we are going to be visiting a lot of moments in Capcom Cup specifically. We're also going to be talking about some of the players involved. We've taken a few of the highlights, some of our favorite matches, and of course how it all went down over at PlayStation Experience towards the end of the entire event, right? We are going to be talking a little bit about what events were happening during the Capcom Pro Tour, but specifically we really want to highlight Capcom Cup and the magic that was the showdown between the final two Americans in that showcase. So without further ado, some of the people we kind of want to talk about today, we had a handful of matches, about like 8 or so matches?
About 8, give or take.
Yeah, and we sat through them. Alex Myers and I were sitting through some of these matches and just trying to pick the ones that were not only just entertaining us, but had a significant impact of what the meta was like in the initial season of Street Fighter V. And for those of you that might have hopped in later on, there were some significant shifts to the character selection, the way the mechanics worked, and overall the player diversity from what we've seen coming from Street Fighter 4, right? We've seen a certain type of dominance from certain players, but in Street Fighter 5, we've had a whole different kind of results where we've had so many different countries represented in the Capcom Cup. Over 12 countries, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe it was 12 countries. We had like DR, South Korea, America, Japan, of course Japan, and was there another one? I'm not sure, but
there was a good handful of them, yeah.
Yes, but a lot of character diversity. We saw a lot of characters being dominant in the first half of the season. Ryu, Ken, Nash, and then I feel like towards the later end we saw Chun-Li. The Chun-Li meta really start to set in, and of course our Mika. Mika was just such a powerhouse in season 1. Not a lot of people really knew how to deal with her at the time, and even if you did know how to deal with her, she was just such a force that it was just hard to deal with in general.
Right, yeah, and then there were also the introduction of new characters like Nikali and Laura. Laura wasn't really so much as established, but Nikali, man, when we talk about Nikali, he was like the complete package. He had great damage, he had great conversions off of V-Trigger, and what a V-Trigger that never run out. He had an invincible uppercut, and he had a command grab. He was the complete package.
He had the complete tool set, and we saw him a bit in Capcom Cup. If I'm not mistaken, I think we had 3 Nikalis, Berlino, Haitani, and I think there was one Phenom. It was Phenom. Yeah, so we had 3 Nikalis representing. I think we have 1 or 2 Nikali matches, but yeah. Jeremy, why don't we get into the first match?
No, absolutely. So the first match we had in mind for you folks at home was in the top 32 of Capcom Cup, where we had Tokido going up against Eita. And what a story this was, because this was one of the first matches that really caught our attention. Tokido, you see his results that got him into the Capcom Cup. You see first at SEAM, Southeast Asia Majors, and then first at CEO. When you look closer into the details of it all, he placed within the top 4 of at least like 10 events.
I believe I'm
not
premiere.
Even kidding.
Yeah, I believe every premiere he was placing at least top 3, top 4 every time. Super dominant. If he wasn't winning a tournament, he was right up there with everyone else.
Absolutely, without a doubt. And then when you move on to Eita was also in his own right doing such great work. His breakout year, I imagine, because if you looked at any of his results in Street Fighter 4, he did attempt to compete in that game it just wasn't as fruitful as he imagined. But going into this game, bursting onto the scenes, he got at least top 8 at every single event he went to as well. At least maybe like 9th, if anything. He got 9th twice in his overall results, and then 13th at Capcom Cup. But we're not going to spoil exactly.
Let's not spoil too much,
Yeah, it's been like 3 years, okay? So I'm going to talk about it a little bit.
It's been a while. Yeah, Eita super dominant in Street Fighter 4 towards the later half, but never really got his true moment to shine. I believe he made top 8 at EVO, or at least right outside that in Street Fighter 5, but it's not, I mean Street Fighter 4, but it wasn't until Street Fighter 5 that you really start to see him shine.
Yeah, and what a player to go up against the likes of Tokido, right? You see someone like Eita going up against the killer Tokido, where we kind of had our predictions going into this matchup. In the beginning, I thought Tokido was going to absolutely crush whoever he went up against in this Capcom Cup. But this was one of the biggest
had a problem. He definitely had a problem with Ken. Like, throughout the year, he definitely struggled against Ken. I think Eita started becoming his demon slowly going into Capcom Cup. When I saw this match, I definitely would have taken Eita.
You know, I kind of feel like Ken players really took advantage of the tools that Ken had. When we kind of break it down, Ken had throw loops. He had a very far-reaching roundhouse that crush countered into easy conversion.
15 frame dash.
Yeah, dude, it was so hard to even try to keep up. It was a little slower in the beginning of Street Fighter V's lifespan.
Yes,
and then you look at a character like Ryu, who this is a very obscure thing to say about Ryu. He had essentially a dive kick. He had the most active jump short.
Jump light kick? Yeah, that move was basically a dive kick, like you said. Ryu, typically very fundamental Shoto, but in this game, he had a ton of damage, ton of pressure. If anything, he was a lot like Ken, I would say.
Sure thing, and another thing about the Shotos, before your very eyes, we have 2 Shotos, right? Ryu, Ken. Yes. They had access to their Dragon Punches. They had invincible Dragon Punches without meter, right? You don't have to spend meter. You don't have to do any sort of EX moves. You had it right off the bat. You see it right there.
There's Eita right there. The Lord of the Uppercut.
You could be, yeah, dude. You could be mashing away without any sort of fear of meaties, right? It was a whole different story back then.
Whatever you're trying to sell, Eita's not having it. He's just gonna uppercut you away. A lot of zoning. It's kind of weird seeing Eita do the slow game. He's typically a fast player. I think when he has the life lead, he tried to slow it down quite a bit. But overextended right there, boom.
Yeah, and it's so wild just to see Eita having to commit to some of these normals, right? I couldn't even tell if that was one of those issues where he tried to just like buffer it, or he thought he actually had it or not, because it was just one of those things where in this meta of Street Fighter 5, people really had to commit to their choices.
You really did. Like, you see Eita already starting to adjust his game plan a bit. He's starting to dash a bit more. He's throwing out these roundhouses. I feel like this was a very dominant strategy in Season 1. The crush counter or dash. You had to decide, am I going to check the dash or I'm going to wait for the round out? And here's the throw loops. I know. God, he's really trying to go ham with the throw loops.
I don't see why not, honestly. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Speaking of broke, man, that jump short was completely ambiguous. I feel like Tokido could have landed right in the face with a fierce. And you mentioned that before we went live on stream. We talked about the empty jumps. Man, those are disgusting.
I really don't know why Tokido didn't spin the cash right then. He spins the cash right here? Oh, bro, he got baited. Oh, what a bait. That is unfortunate. It's one of those moments where it's so tense. You just want to cash out. You want to close the round. And I feel like Tokido felt like he had the round if he didn't drop that combo. So that was really pushing him to do that super right there.
And it's so funny seeing this demeanor on Tokido. This is prior to him really learning about like the
meditation.
The mental game of competitive sports or competitive esports, right? Where he's just going right into the next game, not taking his time, not even like a swig of water. He just straight up goes into the matchup.
Yeah, it's really weird. Like, usually you see Tokido, he'll close his eyes, he'll look down, he'll really recenter himself. But right now you can clearly see Tokido's flustered. He's going for DPs at very obvious times. He's about to get stunned. Like, I don't know, not the Tokido we're used to seeing now.
Gets clipped.
Oh, and then that overhead, dude, I totally forgot about that. That was so nasty, dude.
I hated that overhead.
Dude, I feel like this meta really favored Ken. It's just he did have some bad matchups, but I felt like back then, nothing was really impossible for Ken. He had the jump Tatsu, he had throw loops, he had insane damage. The run mix-ups, you have to guess if he's going to do a normal or run. You have to call it out eventually.
Yeah, he had a lot of tools that he could exploit, and this was the year that they one of the most infamous Ken players came out as a group, the Ken Trinity.
Oh, the Trinity.
Chris Tatarian, Julio Fuentes, and what was Brent, I believe, right?
Yes, I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, this was the year that both Chris Tatarian and Julio made it into Capcom Cup.
They did, yeah. They did.
And Julio made it infamously through, I believe it was Texas Showdown, the call where it all happened. He took a phone call.
I totally forgot about the call, dude. Oh, nice check. Nice. Oh, man. I really miss those memes of Street Fighter V Season 1. Oh, man, dude. The call. You guys remember the call, right, chat? I know you remember that call.
That was great. He took a call mid-set to take advice
from Chris T. I believe it was Chris T. He's like, bro, you gotta uppercut more. You're not uppercutting enough. He's just disrespect. I don't know.
That's so funny. That was actually so funny. I think that was against PR Rog, if I'm not mistaken.
It was definitely PR Rog. I remember PR Rog was trolling.
So mad.
He was trolling him the whole time. He's like, bro, what the hell? What are you doing?
It was so funny. It was actually so funny.
It was so good.
Yeah, those are just
not committing to the check all the way, huh?
Yeah, those are some of the things that we experienced in Street Fighter V, right? There was a reason why there was a Ken Trinity, and is because the way that character was used by those three individuals showed just how good and how much potential Ken had. And here we are with like Eita, right? Seeing Ken in the Capcom Cup. There wasn't so many Ken players in Capcom Cup, I think.
I feel like he was a good mix of all three of them, really. Like he combined a bit of Julio's like nuttiness, Chris's solidness, and Brent, I think, was very good at mixing in the run and the overhead. And I feel like we're seeing all those culminate in Eita right here.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Ken was like the final boss after the Trinity. I feel like the Trinity was just a ruse. Like they were just like the sub boss, and Eita was like the final boss, right?
The final boss. I know they had a hard time with Eita whenever they played him.
Oh, without a doubt.
Yeah,
I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah. Eita just really started coming into his own with Ken. Like when you think of Ken from Japan, you think of Momochi 100%. But Eita, in his own right, he just showed like he could be the most dominant Ken in Season 1.
I'm trying to look at like the results from Capcom Cup 2016. Momochi actually got 17th with Ken.
And I believe that Eita beat Momochi that tournament in the Ken Mirror.
I forget that Ryan Hart also played Ken.
Oh yes,
he played Ken. Yeah.
I wonder, did he make? He didn't make Capcom Cup, right? Oh, he
did. He got 25th. Yeah.
Oh, he did. Wow.
He did. Yeah.
Did he win an auto qual? I remember auto quals were a thing back then. I don't know if he won that. That's interesting.
Are we done? Is this the end of the? What's
I'm not too sure.
I feel like back then, not a lot of people.
I totally forgot about this moment. Wait,
this is just like what's going on? Everyone's losing, going 0-2. These guys, you expect to win.
I'm
not sure.
Totally he still uses that on his stream. Sajam still uses that as a gift. It's so 100%. Funny.
The gift that never stopped giving.
He looks exactly the same. That's the craziest thing. His hair has remained untouched.
He has not aged in 5 years. It's actually insane.
It's ridiculous. That's my guy right there.
Yes, for sure. For sure.
That's my boy.
You guys like some D&D? Oh yeah.
I appreciate you, Myers.
I got you. You gotta plug your stuff sometimes. Eita, dude, Eita up 2-0. What is going on? He's just getting swung on.
Yeah, so every one of these matches, by the way, were 3 out of 5.
Yes, every single one 3 out of 5. One stream, very, very long day. All the competitors were very tired.
Bro, it was the longest day in Street Fighter history.
Jeremy was commentating that one. I think we're gonna have a match or two where we're gonna hear
Jeremy. Hope not, man. Old Jeremy commentary was such trash, dude.
Jeremy, I think for the people, you gotta do it for the culture. For the culture, we gotta hear your analysts on your old commentary.
No, that was me trying to get into my own swing of things. But man, Eita's punish was so.
That was optimal. I thought he was at the range where the fireball might have been just safe, but Eita knows. Eita knows.
Mm-hmm. And look at this, right? We see match point. And this was blowing everybody's mind at the time. This is when the crowd was getting ridiculously hyped. Because Eita, again, at match point, going up against Tokido, one of the favorites to take it all the way because of his performance this year.
Oh, for sure. Like we said earlier, almost top 3 or won every single premiere. You don't expect this guy to go 0-2.
Hey, shoutouts to the chat for talking about Gate Guardian. You guys are the real ones. Or the XYZ Dragon Cannon. I love you guys. You guys are actually ridiculous. That was so good.
That's so funny. The cyber drag.
Oh, he missed uppercut.
Dude. Oh my. Is this it?
He got it.
Oh, he needed that uppercut. Oh, what a check. Oh, decided to. You know what? Against Eita, I would choose not to pressure him too. That was it. I don't remember it being 3-0. What the heck? Yes,
That's actually insane.
Wow, that is
3-0 against Taquito, and you see how much that meant to Eita. It was
infiltration.
it meant a ton.
Oh, for sure. Like, that was in the beginning of top 32, if I'm not mistaken. And it just meant so much because of the amount of weight going into it. He knew what he was stacked up against. Eita knew about what Taquito was bringing to the table. My guy got what? Again, top 4 at every single major he attended, with the exception of Evolution that year.
Right.
Where he got like, what, 13th or something. Like.
Yes, and this is Eita's first Capcom Cup. I can only imagine the nerves going into that kind of event. The first year of Street Fighter V, a new game, you know you have to prove yourself against one of the gods of Street Fighter, Taquito, one of the 5.
Yeah, and I was looking at the at Eita's past like track record from going into like Street Fighter 4 right into Street Fighter 5. His 2014 season and 2015 season, my guy netted 17 points total. He wasn't too active. He's only gone to literally like 4 events for Street Fighter 4 in 2015. So obviously this means a lot to him going into 2016, a brand new game for him to essentially start over and make himself known, and he did so very valiantly, honestly. What 3-0 over Taquito is
3-0.
No matter what version of Street Fighter you're playing, that's impressive.
You can always look back on that and just feel so much pride. I 3-0 Taquito, one of the biggest tournaments. I 3-0.
100%.
But yeah, Taquito, Eita, that was a really big event for him because he had just gotten sponsored by Game With. I remember there was a big thing on Daigo's stream. Daigo was really he was shopping Eita around. They were live streaming him trying to get sponsors and stuff. So, of course, you want to show up big at your first Capcom Cup with your new sponsor.
Oh, no, absolutely. And what a way to do it, honestly. I think he was, honestly, one of my favorite players to watch after what he was doing in general in Street Fighter V. And then his performance over at Capcom Cup really set him over the edge and really set the pace for him in 2017.
Yes. What a play style, dude. Just, I'm going to uppercut, I'm going to dash, I'm going to jump Tatsu. It's exciting. It's good stuff. It's season 1, boys. It's season 1. Season 1's a good time. Mystical time, things happen. Jeremy beat me in NCR. But we don't.
Did I? I actually don't remember. That was the year I was playing mobile games over at the house instead. So we're moving on into characters that had a great time in season 1. In the likes of Knuckle-Doo and Xiaohai, we had Armika and Cammy. Both of those players or characters had such an amazing time. Armika, one of the biggest things about Armika was that she was able to do the Irish whip mid-screen, and there was an invisible wall that forced the character to bounce back, which I thought was an interesting mechanic or an interesting part of Armika, but eventually they took that out, thinking it was kind of unfair.
That was just way too strong. If you were in doubt and you felt like your opponent was getting too close, you throw out the clap. At worst, it's not a huge punish on block, and then if you get hit, they're in the corner. Yeah, Carolyn, stop.
I legit don't remember that. I don't remember that at all. But I do remember getting pretty good results over at the North American Regional Finals for Red Bull Battlegrounds. And this was the time where Red Bull really got involved with the fighting game community.
Yes.
Canada Cup, and then Combo Breaker. Great results for Knuckle-Doo over there as well. Really coming into his own.
I remember
straight from Street Fighter 4.
Doo was really trying to solidify himself in Street Fighter 5. Towards the first half, he was kind of struggling, but towards the later half, he got more comfortable with Mika. I think Mika really changed a lot of things for Doo, and the release of Guile later in the season, that really changed everything for Doo. Because at the time, Doo was playing Nash a lot, I believe, and his Nash, pretty good, pretty crispy, but, it was no Guile.
He was a Nash player.
He was a Nash player. Not a bad Nash player. But he was losing to people I remember he said he shouldn't have lost to. If I'm recalling correctly, he was a good friend of mine. He was saying at NCR when he lost to Marn, he's like, you know what? I should never lose to Marn. I'm going to play this character. And lo and behold, I'm not going to spoil anything. We're going to see how Knuckle-Doo's Mika goes into this next match.
I remember how explosive Marn's Mika was in NorCal Regionals. If I'm not mistaken.
He won the death bracket.
That's right, the death bracket was a thing.
He destroyed Mago, and then he destroyed almost everyone. He beat Ricky, who was also a demon of himself too.
NCR was such a trip. It was so cool to see, because obviously with a new game, there's a lot of hype around it. Seeing everybody gather around in NorCal Regionals was some of the sickest experiences that you don't ever get to see too often. With Street Fighter 4, it took a while for everybody to really get together, but once Street Fighter 5 hit, everybody was like, all right, back on the train. We got to play this game, and everybody was there. It was so sick.
There was just so much hype going into the first season. It really was.
Yeah, and then he's playing off against Xiao Hai, if I'm not mistaken, in this one. Yeah.
Oh yeah, my Cammy senpai right here, Xiao Pai. Xiao Pai winning first at SoCal Regional 2016, second at Canada Cup 2016, and fourth at Stunfest. Quite a dominant player at this time. A lot of people were thinking that Xiao Hai was the best player in the world. I don't think it was until Canada Cup when he got dethroned by Knuckle Dew that people started to think that Dew was the best player in the world.
Yeah, no, absolutely. He had a very, very strong season in, I believe, 2016, getting himself, 804 points, solidifying his place into Capcom Cup. And not the biggest spoiler here, but I think Xiao Hai was just shy of top 8 in Capcom Cup. And I remember, I remember what the match or what his expression was when he was just shy of that, and how
very emotional guy.
Yeah, but we're only going to see the road as to how he got there with the top 32 Knuckle Dew versus Xiao Hai. This is the first, I guess, the winner side.
All right.
Essentially, again, this is only the beginning of top 32 Knuckle Dew and Xiao Hai.
This by far is my favorite match of Capcom Cup. It is a slobber knocker. I feel like Dew. Some backstory here. Me and Dew played right before this match, and I felt like I was portraying Xiao Hai. Because Xiao Hai really taught me a lot. He would sit me down, teach me a lot of stuff, and I felt really bad. Like, Dew's a good friend of mine, so I was like, you know what, dude? If you win Capcom Cup, you know, I'll be okay with it. If you win, it's okay, but if you lose, don't tell Xiao Hai.
Dang!
Let's go.
All right.
So in this meta, two characters that were absolutely ridiculous in terms of damage output and mix-up potential. Mika, I would say, had most of the mix-up potential. Cammy was just another one of those examples who was a complete package. Great damage, great conversions, amazing OP. Yeah, had a dive kick to kind of bypass neutral.
Yes, that dive kick was ridiculous in season 1. I could hit you with the EX dive kick in the head and I was still plus.
Yeah, and she had invincible DP. He also had cannon spring.
And the V reversal was so safe, and it knocked down in season 1. It was actually ridiculous. Side switch and will knock you down.
Wow.
What a mix-up from Dew right there. Oh man, Mika also was like probably the best season 1 character in my opinion. Had such a good dash. I believe a 15-frame dash. The drop kick. So many mix-ups with her jump. Oh, there's the buffer that you were talking about earlier.
Yes. And it's so.
Are we gonna see it? Are we gonna see the bags? I saw little bags right there.
He was making sure his peripherals were working.
Oh, the DP super.
Invincible DP. Did you see the reversal on that? I didn't see a single EX from that. He got to do invincible wake up. Oh my gosh. So
I swear, Dew's wake up jab was basically a DP, dude. You could not meaty this man. He just always got away with a 3-frame jab.
Do you see the invisible wall from the Irish whip?
I do. I've seen it. I've felt it. I've cried about it in person as a competitor. It was not a good time. 18-frame dash. Yeah, still broken.
This character excelled to the top because of how great her mix-ups were, and how I think out of the entire roster, she had the best momentum-based comebacks.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, Mika was just, dude. Once she got on top of you, it was pretty much lights out. No check on the jump from Dew. That's really interesting.
Especially if you didn't have any sort of invincible reversal, right? Mika would just smother those matchups without having to worry at all, right? She could just go straight to meaties and just do whatever she wants. And that was such a huge problem in this game with some characters. It's like, if you don't have an invincible DP, that's a problem. That's gonna stun, right?
It's dead. He's dead.
Oh, it's not gonna stun. It's gonna kill. That's crazy.
This character was ridiculous. All right, Gus Hopper. We don't talk about that. We don't talk about that, Gus Hopper. Yeah, another thing I just remembered about Mika, dude. Beyond her dropkick just being so hard to react to in season 1, there was also the crouch fierce that was like plus on block most of the time. You could just throw it out.
Yeah, that's right. Her crouch fierce was so good. Oh, look at the setup after that.
I really hate that invisible wall, dude. I still have nightmares of that invisible wall. No. Okay, not yet.
Not getting that successfully.
You're still stuck in a reset scenario. Oh, you're actually dead.
Killer.
Oh, that's
Dang.
a stylish combo too. Oh, I love that combo. If you notice, like the last game, like in between the set, Du really stared down Xiaohai. He was staring in his soul. He's like, "Yeah, that just happened. I just bodied you."
Oh,
I love it.
The thumbs up, dude. Oh, you remember the thumbs up?
Dude!
Oh, the thumbs up, brother. I'm ready. I'm ready to get. I'm ready to get whooped on.
I think there was a full montage of thumbs up, if I'm not mistaken.
So.
Yeah. Every single player was forced to do the thumbs up.
Oh god, yeah, that's the last thing you want to do when you lose a game, dude. Yeah, let me look at my opponent and raise my finger. Yeah, it sounds great.
It's too good. It's actually
This is the most patient I've seen Du play the whole round. He's kind of just been running over Xiaohai a lot. Xiaohai is really known for his DP anti-airs, but we really haven't seen that so much.
Yeah, in terms of his reactions and just situational awareness, Xiaohai has always been on top of it, where he would make those split-second decisions almost seamlessly, right?
Yeah, for sure. I think that's one of his greatest strengths is like his not only his reactions, but the
But then he gets played like a fiddle, dude.
I know.
He actually went for the anti-air uppercut.
Oh no! Yeah, he grabbed the normal for sure, dude. What was that? Where are you running? Where are you running?
I love these player-to-player camera transitions, by the way, in between rounds. I think that's so
smooth. They're so smooth. Oh my god, bro, he's going in. Oh, he is really getting home. Good of Xiaohai. He finally got some air and then back in the corner, dude. Are you serious? Look at this character, dude. Season 1 Mika is probably my least liked character in any game I've played. It's just so strong.
It's so funny we complain about Mika, but she's on the screen against a character like Cammy, but that mix-up mid-screen.
Oh,
and you see the disdain and despair in Xiaohai's face. His eye roll was so strong. He was just like, "Ugh, get me out of here, please."
After this point, Xiaohai was for sure, or Du was for sure Xiaohai's demon. Anytime that Xiaohai met up with Du, he's very adamant about getting even with that set. I remember there's a lot of news about people in China were really upset about the teabags from Du. So Xiaohai, he was trying to hold his country on his back every time he fought Du from then on.
That's actually wild. I didn't even know about that. That's pretty funny.
I was watching an E-League trailer the other day. I was just trying to look for like Knuckle Dude documentaries, and like, dude, like, yeah, everyone was after Du. He was the Capcom Cup champ. Xiaohai said like, "There's nothing more that I want than to beat Knuckle Dude. I just want to beat him straight up."
Well, he had to hold that. That was a pretty large amount of a beatdown coming from Du.
Yes,
because of Armika too.
Yes.
But I honestly, Knuckle Dude played the situations out very well and played to Xiaohai's strengths. We kind of mentioned how Xiaohai was very great at reacting, making great split-second decisions.
Yes.
Knuckle Dude really took that as an
he took advantage of that. Yeah, for sure.
You saw the way he kind of played around how Xiaohai likes to uppercut any sort of anti-air instead of being patient.
He would do the splashes just to bait him and get a full crush counter punish. For sure. Yeah, Du, I felt like as situationally aware that Xiaohai is, Du was not only better at doing that against Xiaohai, but he just was in Xiaohai's head so hard. Like, I've never seen someone be so dominant against Xiaohai in a set like ever. Maybe Punk a little later on, but man, that set was just ridiculous.
It's funny you mentioned Punk, because Punk, this was like his breakout year as well. When we had that Red Bull event where we discovered Punk. He had a handful of online qualifiers to do, made himself known at the North American Red Bull Finals. That happened that particular year in 2016, but we didn't see him. It was like the premonition of what's to be in Street Fighter V, right? We didn't get the alpha established until 2016, and it's like the WWF Attitude Era, where we had like players really show off some of their persona and really come out some of the best players we've ever seen. Right?
A lot of bags of tea. Bags of tea those first 2 years.
It was such a cool storyline, seeing the transition from 2016, how they've established the meta with the characters. We see some of the significant changes to those same characters, as well as the addition of the DLC coming up in like season 2, where we had like Urian and whatnot, and Ibuki. So it was really, really cool to see that transition and the feedback that Capcom gave us, or at least the changes we got from Capcom, saying, you know what, we're gonna try to normalize the entirety of the cast by taking away some of the reversal uppercuts as well, which is one of the biggest things, honestly.
Yes, huge.
Because it's like if you weren't in this meta of Street Fighter V, if you weren't playing a character with an invincible reversal, you were doing it wrong.
You were stuck in just infinite pressure. Like you saw, throw loops were so prevalent in Season 1, even Season 2, that if you did not have an option to get away, it was just very hard. What was the other thing I was going to say? I can't remember.
Great. Well, either way, we're going to transition to two other...
Let's go on to the next one.
Two other players who actually played it right with their characters. Daigo and K-Brad. This is one of my personal favorites.
Yeah.
Because going into it, right, Daigo, as you see here, how he made it into the Capcom Cup Esports Festival Hong Kong 2014. Wait
14. That's 16. Hey, Valdez.
Oh, gotcha. EGX, he got 4th, and then top 5 at CEO. Looking at his results as well, he had a handful of first places. He had the, I believe, Lockdown 2016 that happened in Portugal as well. He
was
had
going
the
to a lot of
finals at Milan Games Week. And that was a premier event. I think that was one of the auto-qualifying events, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, I think Daigo probably did have to auto-qual that year because his results were a little stagnant that year. He was having a bit of a rougher time transitioning to SF5 from SF4, but surely he found his footing. He's here in Capcom Cup 2016.
Yeah, and he had to go up against the likes of K-Brad, who had a phenomenal Street Fighter 4 season and transitioned very, very well into Street Fighter 5 with the likes of Cammy, a character that he burst onto the scene with, actually, and did very, very well. He had the second place performance over at the Latin America Regional Finals of the Capcom Pro Tour.
Yes.
He got 3rd at SoCal Regionals, 9th at Canada Cup, and 3rd at Defend the North. Honestly, very, very impressive results. Overall,
very solid
he got
year.
like 332 points getting him into Capcom Cup. So you kind of see the difference in points here. Daigo coming in with just under 600, K-Brad with a little over 300. You kind of see the skill disparity here. But when you look at it on paper, Ryu versus Cammy, if you were to just think about it in Season 1, right off the bat, Myers, who would you pick, Ryu or Cammy?
I honestly think Ryu had a bit of an upper hand that season, but the way K-Brad plays, he plays very footsie-based, very solid. The things that Ryu can take advantage of, a lot of V-skilling, parrying, the dive kicks and stuff. K-Brad doesn't really opt to go for the dive kick. He's one of the originators of the Cammy hit confirm. He was very good at hit confirming just off one low forward in Season 1 of Street Fighter 5, and also even in Street Fighter 4. He was one of the only players in the world that could hit confirm off one hit. Him, Chris G, he was like the originator of that, and I feel like those solid fundamentals really helped K-Brad carry on into the set.
Yeah, and so going into this matchup, I believe Daigo versus K-Brad, we came into this match with the same kind of expectations, and so did the crowd. They were very, very vocal. I was trying to listen into the commentary. But either way, a lot of the...
Can we just talk about these little slides, dude? I really like these slides. Defensive, reactions, legend, clutch. I really like that.
That was sick, yeah. I think those are very, very creative. So going into these this matchup specifically, a lot of players, even the fans at home, were putting a lot of their bets on Daigo. You know, they were saying, you know, 100%. Daigo is the favorite in this matchup. And there was a lot of talk saying that K-Brad, you know what, I don't think he has a chance against Daigo. When they were looking at the sheets, there was a lot writing against K-Brad. And you know what's funny is I think K-Brad does an excellent job of rising above the pressure and stepping up to the occasion and proving everyone wrong time and time again. Anytime you talk negatively about K-Brad, no matter what the context or situation, it fuels him to no end. And my man K-Brad is, again, one of the best to do it in that regard. Like,
yes, 100%. He's no stranger. He's no stranger to beating absolute legends, for sure.
Yeah, so again, he was going into this matchup completely unfavored. And you know what?
Why is he not doing quick enough, man? He just let him get free throws?
Yeah, man.
I don't think Cammy had a throw loop, but it definitely looks like a throw loop right here. Oh, the shimmy. Nice jump top two from Daigo.
Yeah. I don't think they messed around with her throws too much for a very, very long time.
Not for a long time, yeah, for sure. I don't think it was till like Season 4.
Yeah, it was one of those things where, like, she was only strong with throws in the corner, and that was just such a thing. This was before you use your finger.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Oh, yeah, the dive kick down, yeah.
Yeah. I'm so used to seeing that. I was like, oh, yeah, you can do that in Season 1.
Hey, you can do that. And Frioki. Nope. You gotta make the hard reads. And what a hard read. K-Brad, that hard read got him the life lead. He was kind of in a deficit the whole round. Nice EX. That was one of the things that I think really helped Cammy compared to other characters that had to fight against Ryu in Season 1. She was one of the few characters that had a truly invincible, projectile invincible move to deal with Daigo zoning, or Ryu zoning.
Daigo, nice call.
Yeah, and then in this game in Season 1, the only kind of weaknesses that Ryu had was against any character that had an answer to the ground game, specifically with the fireballs. Right?
Yes, a lot of B skills were able to deal with Ryu zoning, but if they didn't have that, it's definitely a lot easier for Ryu.
Yeah, very nice. Very well studied.
Oh, the read?
See that? Do you see how much priority that jump mic kick has?
I felt like Cammy jumped way earlier. She still got beaten out.
Really taking big risks.
Just jump short, man.
It
was too good. It was so active, and the hitbox was so far.
Oh yeah, for sure. Oh dude, the EX dive kick, he's doing them right where it's really hard to react to in this season. Daigo for sure would parry those if he's more ready for it, but definitely hard to do in Season 1.
This is the year where we saw. Oh my god!
Oh, he's ready.
Oh
He's ready.
jeez.
Yeah, we see Kara getting a little too comfortable doing the EX dive kicks, and Daigo's not a player you can do the same thing twice.
Oh no! What a block on the overhand.
Yeah, that was a great block.
This was the year I remember specifically. Everybody was practicing the parries against Cammy's dive kick.
Yes, for sure.
In V trigger.
I believe there was a lot of Twitter clips going on back then of just Ryu parrying.
But you know what? And he spends EX, so there's not
Cammy to the ground. Oh, that's big.
That was so deep.
That was super deep. I think that light kick dive kick. I think that light kick dive kick was just to bait the uppercut. We saw K-Rad trying to opt for that a couple times, but he just got lucky. Hit Daigo dashing in.
Daigo has been able to shut that down. I don't know if we've seen enough grounded approach out of K-Brad instead.
Yeah, Season 1.
Oh, I didn't see it. I didn't see a thumbs up, Myers. There was not a single thumb was up.
No one's ready. Maybe they're that deep in each other's heads. They can just hear each other.
If you reach a certain level of Street Fighter, you just have like a mental wavelength that no one else can sense.
No.
And then they were just like, we're going into the next match.
We're ready.
Oh, I love that. K-Brad getting him right back in there.
Oh, the DP! Oh, dude, the DP was so clutch in those kind of I'm about to get stunned situations. You had another answer, and I thought that was just so good about Season 1.
Man, I can't.
No one really cross-cut it back then, too.
No, I mean, to some degree, people did, honestly, because that was one of the skills that you needed in Street Fighter 4 as well. But it's so hard to cross-cut something like a jump short from Ryu. Ryu was the only one that got away with murder when it comes to those situations.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Ooh, the DP again!
Bringing it out every once and again.
Daigo is just in K-Brad's head so much.
Is he though? Is he? Okay,
maybe just a little bit. Maybe just a little bit.
But in any case, Daigo had the right call.
I just wanted to see it. I can't remember specifically round per round. I obviously know like the end result of this, but it's kind of ridiculous.
It is kind of ridiculous. And then when you see how in the deficit K-Brad is right now, it makes it even more impressive.
Only taken a couple of block jumps.
But you know, it only lasts for so long.
Oh, what a confirm!
Look at that damage. Cammy, one of the lowest health.
Someone's asking, is this live? This is definitely live. We're doing it live.
We are live. However, the matches are not. This is a 2016. If I had a time machine, boy, would I go back to 2016.
Boy, you remember when we could go outside, guys? Oh yes.
I remember the outside.
I remember fresh air. I remember those days. Why the blocks on the stage doesn't explode? I don't know. That's a good question. Oh, the uppercut.
It sounds
the little.
I remember that was a thing back in the day.
That's the whole point of that dive kick is to make it hard to answer.
I didn't even remember that you could. I don't remember destructible objects like not being destructible in Season 1.
Yeah, I don't remember that either.
That's ridiculous.
I remember they had the bonus stage, but I don't think they had anything else like that.
I thought you could. I thought you could break the boxes. That's so weird.
Is that in the what is the main stage that they played on in the beginning? I can't remember. It was the God. What was it? It was the
Use your brain. Come on.
One in China. One in China. I can't remember.
Oh, downtown the
one where you broke the wall and then you would go into the restaurant. Yeah.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah. But yeah, I'm talking about like just like these boxes in general. I didn't even know like you could break them now, but like before, I didn't know they were indestructible. No. No Street Fighter.
And just.
I mean, if K-Brad can start.
Oh, he go for the parry now. Daigo definitely not respecting K-Brad's pressure at all. It's working out for him though.
Daigo taking advantage.
Bustling side street. Thank you, fanboy. That's the one.
I was gonna say downtown back alley. Like,
That's definitely.
my bad.
Oh, the cross up. Nice. Super cash. Oh, no cash out. I think if he cashed out, it's what a dash. If he had cashed out right there, it would have been good. Yeah, the dash up DP. I really only saw K-Brad do something like that in season 1.
Too far. Daigo's still caught there.
Oh, that's gonna be it. Nice conversion. It's good he didn't go for DP right there because there's a high chance it was gonna whip.
Are we gonna see a reverse?
And so this was like the rise of the comeback, right? 1 game down for K-Brad. He was at a 2-game deficit, and you see Daigo kind of contemplating it a little bit. He's like, again, no thumbs up. He was straight up like, huh, I gotta take this a little bit more serious. And that's when K-Brad's like, okay, I've unlocked the Millennium Puzzle. I figured out how to get maximum potential Daigo, and this is the Daigo I've prepared for.
Yes. Right? He's really taking advantage of Daigo teching a lot. Daigo, whenever he's blocking a light kick, it's either a tech, it's a parry, it's a DP. He's starting to walk away and respect Daigo on defense a little bit, and it's really helping him.
Oh, that was a deep dive kick too. He's still trying to go for it. Man, the DP's just going everywhere. Spaghetti.
That's for Daigo.
Few people throw fireballs at
It is.
Ume, show you. You gotta respect my Ume. Show you. Oh, no conversion. That could have been it. And I think back then that dive kick was definitely plus. Oh, nice. I'm telling you, dude. Anytime K-Brad is in Daigo's face, he's teching. He's doing something.
He has to recover on that.
This was actually quite the gauntlet that K-Brad went through, mentally, right? You had one of the best characters in the game at the time, one of the best players, and coming back from a 0-2 deficit, man, that is no easy feat.
That is definitely no easy feat, especially against someone like Daigo. Oh, he's starting to read the shimmies. K-Brad's been shimmying a lot. I like the delay low forward. I was wondering why he didn't do that earlier, but now Daigo's catching on to K-Brad's offense.
Ugh.
Oh, the DP! You better respect me, boy! Oh, oh, nice confirm.
Yeah, I'll say.
I can tell how excited you are because you're a Cammy main, and you're just...
I love watching Season 1 Cammy, dude. Season 1 Cammy was like, you saw him looking for the dash DP again. It's really interesting to me.
Oh, no! Did you see that? So 2 things happened there. Daigo was anticipating a dive kick, went for the parry. K-Brad actually landed and hit the fears, and he could have gone for a full conversion and killed.
Yes.
But that was a scary moment right there. K-Brad did not get shaken up too much, right? He shook it off immediately. He's like, I gotta keep playing this game because this is a do or die situation.
For sure. Oh, there's a DP super again. Such a good tool Cammy had in Season 1.
That's just to get him out of there in case he blocked it.
Reversal dragon punches, man. You had to be a part of the wave.
Yeah, for sure. You have, and Daigo is like one of the most disrespectful players. Like if you don't check him, he's just gonna keep doing his thing. Good delay low forward.
He was doing that before people started to notice, right? The Sanford Kelly is what we dubbed it eventually.
Oh, really? Delay low forward? I didn't really know Sanford did that. Oh, good jump. That's the second time he's gotten that read at the very end of the round. It's been clutching out these rounds for him. And K-Brad, 2-2, dude. Oh my god.
And this was like a point in time in the mechanics where you had to really commit to your movement too. So again, it was very much so read-based from K-Brad. It was so hard to react to anything on the ground. And that kind of got changed up a little bit as the game went on. But just knowing that factor, K-Brad making those reads has been like phenomenal, tying it all up. And it adds extra pressure to Daigo.
Yes, it's just such an important thing as a competitor. You have to be able to trust your reads. If you just are constantly doubting your reads, you're gonna suffer.
More about sweeps, more about he did.
Oh, nice jump, and he's committed. He has a timing on Daigo's fireball.
This time Daigo falls for it. Okay.
Oh, finally waited for the uppercut. Nice. Oh, the Tatsu read. Oh, caught immediately.
I remember Tatsu being such a big deal on an opponent's wake up. That was so obnoxious. Do you remember people doing that?
Oh yeah, for sure. It's very mentally damaging. Someone did raw Tatsu in my face, and I hate it. It can definitely shake you up.
But K-Brad came back.
I'm also very glad that Akuma didn't come out in Season 1.
Yes, me too. Oh my god, what a monster.
Akuma was released in Season 1 and had access to invincible DP without meter. And, oh boy. You know, one of the things though is that if Akuma came out and everybody saw, like, that means he would get developed a little earlier, right?
Oh yeah,
you would only be the target of nerfs early on.
Yes.
Right? So,
and I feel like everyone was starting to just get a handle on Ryu, and so I feel like if Akuma had the time to develop his meta, for sure they would have figured him out.
Right. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense too.
Yeah. Dude, he has a good read on his jump timing. Now, K-Brad's starting to commit to being on the ground. His jumps aren't working, starting to opt to the dash. Very good when people are just waiting on your jumps, especially in Season 1.
I forgot, Combat Junkie makes a very, very valid point of the jump back OS where you can throw tech throws on the pre-jump frames, right?
Oh,
yeah, that's why you see jump back.
Another DP super. Oh my goodness. Yeah, jump back tech was so prevalent in Season 1. Even Season 2, you didn't really see people do it in the way Daigo's doing it now. He's blocking a meaty and then doing jump back tech. You mostly saw people just wake up with it. They would just lay their tech. There I am in the background. Oh my goodness.
Do you see how pumped up the crowd was at the Esports Arena that year? Because of like, they know the stakes between K-Brad and Daigo.
It's such a big match too. I don't recall. This is winners, right? This is gonna shake up the bracket.
This is winners. This is indeed winners. Yeah.
Definitely shaking up the bracket. So many people, like you said, favored Daigo to win. Going up with the uppercut. Oh my goodness.
No, K-Brad played.
I like that Daigo is committed.
K-Brad!
Oh,
Daigo to losers!
Coming all the way back down from 0-2. And he does it. He sends.
You know what I miss, Myers? I miss handshakes.
I miss.
If I'm being honest with you, Myers, out of that entire clip, I miss handshakes.
Hey man, if there's ever a time for the thumbs up, it would be now. They definitely chose the wrong time. I definitely miss handshakes too. Oh goodness. But yeah, like we saw K-Brad, he was getting away with a lot of jumps early on, and then he started to slow it down. And then once he slowed it down, he was able to clutch out the round. I think Daigo kind of was giving off this vibe that he's just gonna fireball. You have to respect my fireball. I'm Lord Daigo. You're not jumping on my fireball. But once K-Brad started doing that, Daigo adapted, and then K-Brad adapted, and that last adaptation from K-Brad is what clutched out the round for the game.
Yeah, and to kind of spell out what happened towards the rest of that evening for the top 32, as we move on to our other matches, you know, Daigo went 0-2 that tournament. You know who else went 0-2? Take a wild guess.
Tokido.
Absolutely right. Tokido actually went 0-2 as well, getting dead last alongside a handful of other players, if I'm not mistaken.
A lot of upsets Season 1. I remember DR Ray took out Tokido from winners. That was such a big match for the DR community.
Oh, that was in DR Ray. I think that was in losers, because Eita was the one that sent Tokido and losers from winners, right?
I'm pretty sure it said Eita was losers when we were watching it earlier.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah,
okay, gotcha.
That was another match where people were expecting, you know, the underdog to lose, and you know, Tokido. I feel like we said earlier, a lot of those meditation things weren't in play yet, and it's very easy to get flustered and to feel deterred when you lose your first game in Capcom Pro.
Yo, and DRA had such an excellent showing, by the way. We were talking about some of the weaknesses of Ryu, and it's against characters that do deal very well with the fireballs in the ground game. Vega was definitely that character that was pretty much like a hard counter to Ryu, in my opinion.
Yes, he has a skill that just goes right around it.
Yeah, and being able to, I guess, maneuver around Ryu's normals at the time were very, very hard to do, because we were talking about how commitment-based this part of the game was, or this part of the meta was. And with Vega, he had such long-reaching normals, which is the kind of standard thing we can expect from the likes of Vega, right? Yes. So he had like these long normals to kind of just play the back and forth.
Such great walk speed too.
Oh, amazing walk speed, and was still able to get like throw loops going as well. Not as prevalent as like Ken.
Ryu or Ken, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but it was still very, very strong. And so,
a lot of strong Vega showings in Season 1, I believe. Like I think Nemo made top 8 with Vega only, and then we have DR Ray qualifying for Capcom Cup. It was a magical time, Jeremy. The only time Vega was very prevalent in Street Fighter 5.
It was actually pretty wild to see, honestly. I was very excited to see Vega in general. When I saw his announcement trailer, I was like, oh boy, this is gonna be sick. Like I'm scared, but I'm also very excited to see this version of Vega.
Yeah,
it turned out to be pretty cool.
I thought he was such a sick character. The stance switches I thought were really interesting. He had a command grab.
Command grab? As soon as I saw that in the trailer, I'm like, this character's broken.
I was like, I might as well main this character. This character's going to be top tier.
I legit thought that, but boy, was I wrong. They packed everybody in this game, by the way.
They really did. That's one of the great things about Season 1 is that even though there was a lot of dirt in this season, everyone had that same amount of dirt. You never really felt like you were out of the game if things went wrong.
Yeah, it was actually pretty packed. But one of the things also that was very prevalent in Street Fighter V was how strong characters like Chun-Li were in the hands of especially Ricky Ortiz, right? She went up against Fujiwara in the top 32, which is also, I think, I can't remember if it was me or you that queued up this match.
I think it was me. I thought this match was really interesting because these are very like polarizing playstyles. Fujiwara, he likes doing a lot of the cheap stuff. He tries to abuse the game mechanics a lot. And the thing about Ricky's just a footsie savant. Ricky's gonna out-neutral you. Ricky's gonna make you play her game. Ricky's gonna overwhelm you. Ricky's known for being a very fast, very high pressure player. But Fujiwara also known for just getting in your face and staying in there. And I think that's why he made Nash work so well in Season 1. Here we got him getting 2nd at Tokyo Button Masters, 4th at FB Cup, and 3rd at EVO 2016. Also, just Fujiwara's breakout year. No one really knew who this guy was. He was a Viper player from SF4. People knew about him in SF4, but no one really in the States knew who he was, and this was his breakout year.
Yeah, he had quite the year as well in 2016, making top 8 at almost every event he touched. Yes. Again, excluding the Asia Oceania regional finals where he got 13th, and also the Well Played Cup over in Tokyo, Japan, getting 9th. His overall performance consisted of 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th over at like various events.
Yes.
3rd being at EVO that year.
Anytime he went to a big premiere, he showed up, and he was always within the top 5.
You know, wasn't I believe he was showcasing Ibuki this year, right?
Definitely been. So now I believe he is a full-on Chun-Li player. Chun-Li's looking top tier again. So he switched right to Chun-Li. He's always been the kind of guy that wants to play top tier. Whatever he feels is going to be prevalent.
Oh no, for sure. Yeah. I meant like in 2016. I meant he was going back and forth between Nash and Ibuki, right?
I don't think Ibuki was. I think Ibuki was Season 2, right?
I can't even remember.
Maybe Jack can help us out on that. But definitely one of the Ibuki innovators right here, Fujiwara. And then why don't we take a look?
No. Actually, Season 2 was the year Akuma, Colleen, Ed, Abigail, Minot, and Zeku came out. I think Ibuki came out as DLC in Season 1 just later, alongside characters like Guile, Balrog, and the like.
I think he was mostly sticking with Nash. Anytime I saw him in a bracket, he was rocking Nash, and I don't think it was till Season 2 that we got to see Fujiwara's devastating mix-ups with Ibuki.
Mm-hmm. And then we move on to Ricky Ortiz, again, the footsie specialist. She had quite the year in 2016. Actually, the year was 2016 for Ricky Ortiz.
We got 1st at Defend the North 2016, 2nd at Summer Jam 2016. Ricky, I don't believe, had too many points leading up into Capcom Cup, but in a lot of the American events, she showed up really hard, and I believe that's how she qualified.
You are not mistaken, actually. That's absolutely correct. Netting herself 247 points in North America, global 289 points.
Yes.
And so she qualified in ways of her regional qualifier, or at least regional qualifier status, essentially, getting herself into that category. And what a performance that year for Ricky. You see it right there. Spoiler alert, 2nd place over at Capcom Cup, and it was a Capcom Cup to remember.
Yes, it really was. We had an All-American Grand Finals. Let's not get into that too much. Why don't we get into the next match?
Absolutely, let's get it. So we do have Ricky Ortiz going up against Fujiwara. Now tell me a little bit as to why you highlighted this match.
Well, like I said earlier, they're very polarizing. I thought it'd be so interesting to see someone who really likes sticking to the ground, like you see right there, spacing master, reactions, and Fujiwara very mobile. I felt like he was always moving. Forward heavy kick from Nash, dash, sonic boom. It was always something on the screen. The screen, very, very active player. And I thought it would be interesting to see how Ricky deals with it in a very fundamental footsie-based way.
The ability to be mobile.
I hear the commentary. That's not James Chen.
That's not James Chen. Who is that, Jeremy? Who is that, Jeremy?
It's some bald dweeb. So it is the Nash pick, by the way.
Yeah.
So the thing about Nash, I feel like Nash was very, very strong out the gate. We saw guys like L.I. Joe really make Nash look amazing.
Also another guy that made top 8
as well.
Yes. It would have been interesting to see L.I. Joe in Capcom Cup. Unfortunate, but what a story L.I. Joe had at EVO.
Yeah, so Nash had great conversions off of his normals, I think. Controlled the screen very well. His movement was pretty decent, and medium kick Sonic Scythe was one of the biggest tools that he had.
I totally forgot about that. Why didn't I bring that up? Dude, that was so unreactable and just so hard to punish. You could really throw it out like a footsie tool. Look at that, he's just throwing it out.
And then we talk about like strong tools, right? Chun-Li had some of the best tools in the game. She had air legs, dude. Like
oh my gosh.
Tough situation.
Why was that the same side, Mike?
I definitely blocked crossover.
I got a question for you. Instant air legs, was that plus?
It was definitely plus. I think that was one of the things that made Chun-Li just so strong. Besides her really solid toolkit, she just, once she got in, you had to guess, and even if you guessed right, she was plus and in your face. Just such a strong character. I don't think we'll ever see Chun-Li be as strong as she is right now, for sure.
I mean, season 5 is almost looking like it. Almost.
She's looking pretty strong, for sure.
Pretty good, but never to the extent of what we saw here. She was a monster here. You might as well have put Shadow Lady in.
Oh, for sure. The
just have rockets coming out every time she does EX legs in the air, on the ground. Just have like a bunch of rockets shoot out, like hidden missiles. Just
the air legs was definitely a hidden missile. You cannot see that. Oh, the spin side.
You might as well, right? Same thing.
Yeah, you see now Ricky's having a hard time dealing with the scythe, eating a ton of them this round. Fujiwara has such good spacing control right now. Oh, nice conversion. And Fujiwara also just, like I said earlier, very good at abusing the system mechanics. Dashes were so good and prevalent in that season that you just see him get away with it right there.
Yeah, these two characters had amazing movement, great dash speeds. I think Chun-Li had the fastest dash speed in the game.
I believe so.
I think she still has it now. I think she's still the champion of the frames of dashing. I think
it's super fast, 15 frame, definitely the best dash in the game. Alongside with Ken, I believe there's another 15 frame. Rashid also has a 15 frame dash. But yeah, we were talking about Ricky being the footsie player. Right now, Fujiwara is footsying up Ricky Ortiz.
But for how long? I mean, it's Chun-Li. For how long?
I know. Oh, what a check! Wake up 4 frame, bro. Wake up 4 frame. I feel like you wouldn't be able to get away with that so much this season. But man, Fujiwara making it work.
I always forget of how vanilla Nash was in season 1. I feel like it works so well.
It does work so well. He's just so mobile. He's like butter, baby. He's just moving. He's moving. Spin
he's
side.
Like butter, because he's on a roll. I see. I get it. I get it. 1-0 for Fujiwara.
Oh, goodness, I didn't even think about that journey.
I had a long day, Myers.
It's okay. It's okay.
I had a very long day. I'm not complaining. It was a long start.
A long day. Shoutouts to other games, but
I mean, I was just up since 7 a.m. just in general.
Oh goodness gracious!
Oh, it's cool looking, right? It's so good.
That's the thing too.
Jeremy, hold on, man. I'm trying to listen to baby Jeremy right now. Let's see what baby Jeremy has to say.
I don't know. I guess we'll see. I wonder if we'll see.
Does Chun have a throw loop? I do not remember Chun having a throw loop. That looked like a throw loop. Dash throw.
I wouldn't doubt it. Honestly
wouldn't. I feel like almost every character except maybe Fang and Dawson had a throw loop. I wouldn't even be surprised if Dawson had a throw loop.
Cammy technically didn't have a throw loop either.
Yes, for sure. But she was kind of cheap. She had the dive kick and everything. It makes sense. Doesn't spend it, drains her super. That was another thing about Nash that was so interesting. He had the drain. He still has the drain.
Yeah,
but I feel like it was just so good with his toolkit back then.
Around it.
Oh, nice. Look at Fujiwara's defense, just so clean. He's not teching. He's doing delay, light kicks, just to check Ricky coming in.
Oh, man, that was so ambiguous. I couldn't even block that even if I were a pro.
Nice.
For sure.
Even if I practiced that a million times, there's no chance in hell I'm going to be like, yeah, I can block that, no problem.
And that's one of the things that made Chun just so good. That light kick, it got nerfed a bit, but the hitbox on that thing was crazy. And you get a 50-50? Dude, ridiculous.
It didn't get nerfed until like what? Did it actually get nerfed in season 2?
It got nerfed immediately. Season 2, it was definitely nerfed. Yeah, definitely nerfed. One of the things, beyond just Chun getting her air legs nerfed in season 2, was one of the things that brought Chun-Li down quite a bit. Oh, read the Jan fear.
Do you see the damage on that? That's actually ridiculous.
Damage. Omelette du damage.
Classic. Absolutely classic. So much damage on that. And you see the crowd that's kind of like, yeah,
that guy back there,
Chun versus Nash.
The Chun versus Nash. They're definitely not getting hyped for Chun versus Nash.
No,
but
definitely not.
This match, I feel Jeremy is about to pick up for sure.
Hey, that's that Twitch emote guy. Did you see that guy?
Oh, was it really?
Yeah, I'm gonna go look him up on the chat.
What's his name? Poggers? Is it Poggers? I'm not sure.
No, I don't mean that guy, dude.
Oh, I didn't.
Hold on. It's the guy who put his hands to his head. I just can't remember who it is.
Oh, I don't. Yeah, I didn't see that.
I'll figure it out. Oh, it's this guy. It's not like this guy.
Oh, not like this. Oh, it was him. Ben Schwartz, I think was his name. He worked at Twitch. Shout out to Ben Schwartz. I hope you're doing well, brother. I hope you're doing well. A lot of cool guys at Twitch. We got Bobby Scar, Ben Schwartz, good guys.
Potential kill.
So much damage. Fujiwara just looks so dominant.
And then you have Ricky Ortiz with Chun-Li.
I know.
Get out of there. Man, that's so frustrating, dude. As soon as you see him spend the V-trigger and he's out of there, it's like, oh, I gotta chase you down. You have Sonic Scythe also? Come on, bro.
He's just backdashing 3 times. You know you're not catching up to him, dude.
And that crouch strong. The discipline to press a button in the face of adversity. And by adversity, I mean instant air legs, specifically.
For sure.
That's the kind of discipline you have to have as a pro player.
You got to call those things out, for sure. And that was a good call out from Fujiwara.
It's so strong. It's so damn strong.
Yes. I think Ricky's going a little bit too much for the cross-up under. Like, Fujiwara's just not biting anymore. Oh,
yeah.
It's that he's not busy at the time, right?
Bro, this guy isn't moving. It's such a treat to see Nash back in season 1. Just so mobile. Oh, what is going on?
Oh, he was playing hopscotch everywhere. My legs got crossed up.
They did. Oh, nice.
I'm trying to see who else played Nash that year, so I couldn't even remember. Not too many Nash players.
Not
in general. I think it was just 2 in general.
Just 2 in general.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was so. I feel like Nash was decent. He was definitely like high tier, right? It's just being able to. You had to be the kind of player that could predict movement very well and use it to your advantage and pick your spots with Nash, because his movement was also very great. His normals were decent, and his Sonic Scythe was absolutely ridiculous.
It's absolutely ridiculous for sure. He had a great jump roundhouse. We've seen Ricky get eaten up by that jump roundhouse quite a few times.
To the face, into the critical art.
Is that gonna kill?
Ton of damage.
Is it gonna kill? And it's moves. That's crazy.
I'm glad I didn't ask that question in 2016. Let's go, Jeremy. Let's go past me.
Good job,
Let's
Jeremy.
go past me.
Let's go, kid. You go. Look at you.
See, I did the option select. I said I was gonna do a ton of damage.
It's just as good, Jeremy. It's your own thing too. It's your own flavor on it.
It's the commentary secret. You gotta option select everything.
Keep your options covered.
It's not too different from being a pro player, right? You
gotta mix it up, bro. Oh, the roundhouse. This roundhouse was so hard to check from Nash too. Oh my goodness. He kind of just throw it out. Oh, nice. Still going for the dash under. Still working out. Oh, nice confirmed. Oh, the call out. Oh, I would have loved an air throw right there, bro. That would have been. Oh, I missed a confirm.
The way he was in the prior.
No, I think you're absolutely right.
Spinning a Birdo kick.
Season 1 combos were so sick. Her combos have changed a lot over the years, but man, I really like the season 1 combos quite a bit.
Did they? I feel like they haven't. I've always, like, after all the time I've spent playing against Chun-Li, I feel like I'm getting hit by the same thing. Stand medium punch, crouch medium kick into
bird kick.
Yeah, spinning bird kick, right? I don't think it's changed too much, honestly. It's just like, it's the same stuff over and over again.
They've changed a lot of variations with the light kick follow-up. Like, I don't think she can get the jab as easily anymore. Oh, the players! Oh, wow, what a medium punch. That's crazy.
See, now I'm tripping. Was Ibuki available in season 1?
Well, the chat says season 1. I agree with Carolyn. I don't think Fujiwara's Ibuki was up to par yet. Could have been messing with Ibuki for sure, like you said, but I really do think that Fujiwara was all in on Nash at the time.
Let me see. Cover. Oh my god!
I think the super did more damage back then too, because I play Chun-Li now. I definitely didn't kill around this. Oh no, I missed the stop!
No, like this.
Not like this. Why are you running?
Oh, okay. So the base roster did not include Ibuki. She was DLC, so that was one of those things where she came out as DLC. You didn't want to risk putting that much time into a character, only to, like, you know, kind of falter. You want to stick to your guns.
Halfway through too.
Yeah, so season 1 was like Alex, Balrog, Guile, Ibuki, Jury, and Urien.
Oh, that's super late for sure. But I do remember that they released Jury and Urien, like at CEO, or they at least showcased them, right?
Your guess is as good as mine.
I just vaguely remember the double trailer and L.I. Joe getting hyped for Urien.
That's right. Yeah, he was like shaking the ropes down on the ring.
For sure.
Hey, man, you're a beast at remembering things.
I remember all the niche stuff. I got
You're like an elephant, Myers.
I guess so.
You have great memory and you're very tall.
I can't ask for much more. I wish I was a little better at Street Fighter, but we don't need to talk about it.
Do you see that whiff throw? That's when we established the fact that whiff throws are +2. Right
Yes.
there.
Oh, at least +2, maybe even +5. People were eating crush counters and stuff right after that.
It was such a meme back then, but it lived its life to the fullest even now. It's just like, you know what, this meme has become a reality.
Oh, for sure. It was just ridiculous. Oh, what?
Very nice.
That was definitely a season 1 Chun thing. That's not around anymore.
I missed it, actually. I blinked.
No, you're good. You're good. We're looking at the chat and stuff.
Sit down.
How you guys doing, chat? I hope you're enjoying this. Pretty fun.
There's a lot
Man,
more
I do
than
not.
it's
That
like-
that snap kick was nasty.
Not that
Before
distant.
Dude, you cannot whip punish that back then. It was so hard.
Potential combo continuing.
And it wasn't one of those normals that you could actually like trade with too much. Like sometimes it just completely stuffed out normals because of how the hitbox was designed. I think they changed it up little by little.
And just the priority system, bro. The priority system, like, not a lot of moves went that far or could deal with roundhouse that well.
Yes. Such a good normal.
Yeah.
Super ready. Oh,
Is that how I said it? Is that how I said it, Mars?
That's how I heard it in my head, Jeremy.
I believe it.
I refuse to hear it anymore.
He's dead.
He's definitely not dead. Oh, I did!
He's
Okay,
hella
never mind.
dead, bro.
Read the comment.
hella dead.
That's another thing about season 1. For a few seasons, there was no V trigger scaling. If you activated V trigger, it just did a hell of damage.
That's right.
There's no way. There's no way.
Oh,
That's way. He believed too hard. But look at this. Ricky was down 2-0, facing elimination, and now she's at match point.
Wasn't
Oh,
working.
good
See why you
delivery.
picked this one.
Yes,
See.
it's a good match.
Don't do that.
Oh, don't do that.
pretty
You
exciting
tell him,
match.
Jeremy, don't do that. You can't do that.
You can't. I still say that. Don't do that.
Don't do that.
I still say it.
No.
No. You gotta
No.
get the finger.
No.
Into interrupt.
Oh, no way. Oh, that is so...
I love
I've never seen that combo. What was that? That was so sick. Dude, season 1 Nash was so sick. Oh my god.
Do you see how late into the game? Oh no, this is only what, round 2 winners? Like, and it was already like dark at
Oh yeah. Oh my god. That's a good point, dude. Oh my god. That's just how long these matches took. I believe each of them were like 15 minutes. You had your breaks and everything.
He hadn't been doing that.
And there's 32 players going through round 1.
Dude, that was so close. I
know.
I literally just passed. Hey, shut up, pass me. I literally just said the same exact thing. It was like, it was so close.
Let me get a word in here.
We actually said it at the same time. That's so dumb. It was actually so dumb. I can't believe it.
Jeremy, your brain hasn't changed that too much, I see.
That was so close. How did
It
you
was
crouch
so
me
close.
that time?
Jump in. The super's there.
What do you mean?
Was that intended to be?
What
super?
do
Now
you
Ricky,
mean?
One makes him away.
Oh, get
Oh, he caught him back.
Sealed the deal. Put it
That
to
was
the guy
sick.
to lose
Ricky
it.
got hyped. You can't get a much closer match than that. What a comeback. Oh my goodness. Shout out to Rose, Elpian,
So
that guy in the front getting
on
hyped.
a march.
Nice, Myers.
Man, what a
Yeah.
match. I feel like that was like the epitome of going down memory lane right there. Season 1 Nash, Season 1 Chun, some of the best characters in Season 1.
Oh no, absolutely. And it's kind of funny that it came down that way, where you had to commit to those options. Or at least commit to your options in general. We kind of prefaced season 1 by saying that, honestly, in the top of show. We're like, you know, this was kind of the meta where you had to commit to your movement, and you see Fujiwara just completely go for a backdash. He thought it was gonna be like a throw. He's like, I gotta guess here. Am I gonna get hit? Am I gonna get thrown? I'm gonna guess thrown, and he got clipped.
You gotta guess, and you know what? Unfortunately, Fujiwara guessed wrong. And man, what a good character Chun-Li was, dude. Even if he blocked that, he was plussed, and he was just in a bad spot.
Yeah, I mean, I could see why you picked that match. I understand now.
Yes.
I personally didn't get to watch the entirety of the match because I wanted to keep like the surprise factor. I would only look at like the first couple minutes and be like, okay, I can see where this is going.
Yes.
But never to that extent. I actually didn't remember that happening.
How close it was. It was so close, dude. Awesome. Next match, I believe, is... Who do we have next, actually? Let's see.
It's going to be NuckleDu versus MOV. Another Chun-Li.
What a great match. Do, I believe, went with Guile this match. And a little bit of a fun fact. No, there was I believe he went up there, Jeremy. There was a training room for the players up in the balcony of Esports Arena, I believe. And over there, MLB and Do were practicing right next to each other. And MLB was watching Do like a hawk. Do specifically picked Mika the entire time, just trying to mess with MLB, and ended up going with Guile.
That's beast. That's actually beast.
That is a top tier mind game right there.
So the master of vampires himself. When it comes to his results, right? You see very consistent placing, fifth and fifth, Japan Cup, Evo, and over at Capcom Cup in total. But when you look and break down the statistics, he had himself 600 global points, 384 points in the European region.
Oh.
In the European region, mind you.
European region. He was mopping them up, dude.
he was destroying them. Really.
He's like, hey, these are not your points. These are my points.
These are now my points. You thought they were yours. No. I am the Chun-Li now.
He does look pretty sick in this picture, I gotta say. This is probably one of the sicker player profile pictures we've seen.
I was listening to the tunes as well.
The tunes,
that is the revamped version of the Street Fighter 2 character selection screen.
Yes. So. And here we are. We're at the main stage, Moscone Theater. Oh my goodness, PlayStation experience.
That's right. Yeah. So this is we've already made ourselves into like top 8 now. This is top 8 territory, ladies.
This is top 8. This is the first match of top 8, I believe. A lot of pressure going on. I believe. A lot of people were thinking whoever wins this match is going to win Capcom. This was a huge match for both these players.
You know, you're not the first one to say that. Actually, that was 100% correct. A lot of players and people took to social media and said this was the match that would shoot them into the best possible seat of winning. And
100%. Yeah, and I believe people, as strong as MOV was, as strong as Chun-Li was, was just looking so dominant at the end of the season. People could not help but think that was going to be the Capcom Cup champion and be the favorite in this match.
Now,
so young. A dad now. Look how he is. He's a dad now.
I forgot. Crazy. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And so going into this matchup, like MOV, again, another one of those guys that had a lot of eyes on him. Did a great job in Street Fighter 4 towards the end of it, but he overall is just a Capcom legend, right?
Third strike lord.
Yeah, and Alpha, he played Alpha very well. Also played Dark Souls very well.
I did not know he played Alpha. I was gonna say, who does he play in Alpha? Probably Chun-Li.
He played everybody, really. I had the luxury to play him randomly when he came by to Denjin Arcade. He came for a Third Strike tournament as a special guest.
Oh wow, that's really cool, dude.
This is a long time ago.
Who did you play in Alpha, Jeremy?
I played Ken because I was a scrub.
That's pretty sick though. I liked Alpha Ken.
Okay, so this is the match where NuckleDu stuck it out with Guile and really threw off Eita.
MOV.
See that?
Definitely threw off MOV for sure. Yeah, just a dominant zoning. That zoning in the corner looked like some SF2 zoning. There was no getting out of that. Oh, the air legs. Here we go. It's Chun-Li's game now.
This is one of those matches where I think Chun-Li kind of struggled against players or characters with very good projectiles that could contest her on the ground. That was one of like the key things because she wasn't trying to jump over most of these projectiles anyways. She has such a weird trajectory, and that's been like the Chun-Li thing for so long. She's a very floaty jump, right?
Yes, very floaty jump for sure. I'm pretty sure that's why went with this match for sure. And Chun's still a character that has a really hard time with zoning.
I know there was a lot of anti-Armika tech back in the day in Season 1. Everybody was studying that character, and Chun-Li was definitely that character to have the most of it.
That would blow up everything that Mika wants to do.
Yeah, so one of like the key components that Mika had was the drop kick being plus and very hard to stop. Chun-Li was able to low profile. Yeah, she has that light kick and then low profile it with a low medium kick. That was established in Season 1. She still has that today.
Oh wow, that is some SF4 tech. I did not know she had that.
Yeah, you can do that. I think Karen had the same kind of tech too, where you had to command dash through it. You could do the startup attempt coach. So the command dash through actually low profiles past Armika's drop kick. Yeah.
Right. That's interesting.
It's weird. It was so weird.
That is really weird. Now as the game got a little bit more responsive, it was a lot easier to check Mika. But back in this time, dude, Mika was just so strong. So many options. And here are the bag of tea. Oh my goodness. This is the one thing that the new Knuckle Dad was very known for back then.
And you know the thing about teabags is that you don't know their true strength until they get into some hot water. So I get
for sure.
He's so powerful, sending this mental message to MOV saying like, you know Scare, I know Scare, the classic, right? It's just like you can't phase me with this character, bro.
Shout out to Chris Hu, the Lord. Yeah, I believe Du's philosophy on the teabags was like, it's a move that does actually no physical damage, but it just does so much mental damage. And it's so funny to see a move that does no damage in game do have so much damage on someone's mental. Oh, he went all in! Dude, that's how you know Dude's feeling himself. He's doing flash kicks like that. Oh, that was big! That was big.
His Sobot kick placement has always been an anomaly to me. He is so good at throwing those Sobots.
I don't understand how he does it too. He just knows. Oh, I thought I was gonna kill. It's the jab. Is there a jab?
Oh, he committed.
That was the optimal punish doing SBK. A lot of time Chun-Li will do sweep or low forward. It will whiff right in their face. So I think it's really good SBK punish right there.
That was pretty optimal. You built a little bit of meter too, because you're not gonna get the throw.
Yeah, for sure. That's a good point.
One of the things that hasn't changed since season. Damn, what a block!
Block that. He was behind him.
What do you mean?
A little broke there. Hey man, we don't have rights to that song. We can't go any further.
That's pretty good. That was pretty good. Alright, relax.
Oh, good confirm. That was so sick. 1-1.
She got that off of 3 lights, dude. Crouch short, stand jab twice.
Crazy. Chun had such sick conversions back in the season for sure.
I'm not about it. I'm not a fan.
Not about it. I don't blame you. I at the time definitely not a fan. Season 5, nothing but a fan. Thank you.
By the way, I gotta say, at this point at PSX, if you didn't get a seat to watch Capcom Cup, you were screwed. I couldn't even get a seat.
Really?
I had to wait. Yeah, I was on my phone watching the stream.
Oh my goodness.
And just trying to wait and see for if I could get a seat.
Oh man, yeah. I remember I was like in the very far back. I got really lucky with my seat. People were definitely camping out for this too. Oh, missed the combo, but still got the hit. Ooh, the air legs.
Air legs, I don't miss. Good riddance.
I definitely don't. Yeah, way too broken. Well, I got the charge on that. That's so hard to do. Oh! Wow.
Oh no.
Wi-Fi connection lost because that combo was so sick.
It was too powerful for the Wi-Fi.
It just dropped. I can't handle, bro. I can't. Oh, nice patience on Dude's part. Yeah, MLB definitely a player that once he has momentum, he definitely goes in a little too hard. Dude is definitely feeling on that right now and taking advantage.
And look how, again, we talked about this earlier. We prefaced this this matchup by saying Chun-Li struggled against characters that had very, very good fireballs.
Yes, she is getting zoned out. This is the definition of getting zoned out right there. This is very hard to watch. Oh, barely missed a low forward. Dude, the Sobot placing is just ridiculous. He just knows when people need to walk in. Yeah, what are you going to do? Like, really? If you really wanted to, you could just keep building meter. I don't know why you wouldn't. Like, Chun's very unlikely to get a jump in.
I forget again, like,
goodness
there's no
gracious. Oh yeah, there's no chip kills. You gotta cash out with super. But I think that was MLB's strategy right there. MLB was like, you know what? I'm probably not gonna win. I'm gonna just block it out, get a little bit more meter.
Yes. I think Logan and F-Word actually mentioned that right when you mentioned it as well.
Right.
Unless you were like listening to them.
No, I was not. I was not listening.
I don't believe you. I think it's
no. I do do this for a living, Jeremy. I gotta know my stuff. Oh, the bait. Ooh. Kyle cannot do that combo anymore. Oh, what a greedy reset. Oh my god.
What a greedy SBK. Oh,
I
no,
know.
you're actually dead. You're actually dead.
He's dead. He's definitely dead.
He's better than dead.
What? Oh, Dude didn't believe. Dude wants to cash out. You know, it's actually a really good idea on Dude's part because MLB already used his V meter. Oh, well, he just said screw it. He's using all his meter now. If I was the guy right there, I would have definitely used super. I don't know why you wouldn't. But no, it worked out.
What do you think happened there?
Dude takes third game.
That round was done.
Bro.
Imagine how much pressure Dude's feeling right now. He's fighting for a chance at 250 grand right here against one of the legends, MLB.
Damn, he threw the thumbs up. I didn't even get to see MLB react. He was just like, I'm
ready.
This is starting. Get this up, guys. Get this up there, play.
Dude, well, what is going on? Yeah, everyone's like, bro, where is the video?
Gosh. The amount of pressure that was going into this game as well. Knuckle Dew, he knew, again, like he was like, if I get myself into the winners finals from here, it'll be perfect.
Dude, I can only imagine. That's just so much pressure. It's a life-changing amount of money. It really is.
Oh, absolutely. That's when he completely started making moves afterwards, like
for sure.
financially.
Yeah, I believe he invested in real estate. Very, very smart move, and it's kept them really afloat.
I want to look at his performance overall in 2016. I think he made like so much off of like everything in total.
I'm pretty sure Do was having a very hard time until around the mid-season, like July, and then Do started showing up at the American events really hard. Beating Ricky quite a lot, actually, towards the later end.
Oh my goodness.
What a EX. What are you doing, Chun-Li? Trying to zone against Guile? That's not going to work out too well, baby.
It's funny you mentioned like him struggling in the first half of the year where he got like, what, 9th at final round, 5th at NCR and CEO and SoCal regionals. And then immediately after that break in like October, he started getting like first. He got first at Canada Cup, Summer Jam, Absolute Battle.
Taking down people that were the favorites. They thought they were the best, like Xiaohai for one. Like everyone thought Xiaohai was the best player, and then Dude really solidified himself as the best player in season 1.
I'm trying to look at everything else from like MOV, the disparity of like their performance or like the results in 2016 that led them into this point, right? Going into it, like we were thinking, you know, MOV, very, very strong player and has a very, very strong character, right? You would think he has like the upper hand against like Knuckle Dude.
Oh, for sure.
Look at the domination from Dude.
Yes, I know. Yeah, Dude does not care about if you're the favorite or not. He doesn't care how strong you are. Dude's going to just give it to you.
I forget that option of doing instant stomps against Guile. It's so good, right?
It's so good. Baits the flash kick. Also, plus when you block the air legs, just a strong move overall.
Yeah, people would do instant stomps into instant legs, right?
Yes, 100%. So if you haven't blocked overhead, oh buddy, guess what? I'm plus.
I'm so plus. Hey, guess what? By the way, I haven't finished yet.
Hey, guess what? I'm still here.
I'm still here. I still exist. That's so funny.
The call has not dropped.
That is so funny.
It's crazy, dude. What a character. Air legs again. Good walk back. That was the one thing that Chun-Li kind of struggled with is after jab. She didn't really get kick throw. Oh, is that it? No way. And that would have been sick of that combo.
That's so funny how it gets... Oh, jeez. 3 EXs off of that. Oh, jeez.
Two more confirmed. He confirmed the EX legs. Bro, what? That was some season 1 gimmick stuff right there. I'm gonna whiff so bad and press crush shirt. We mentioned it earlier with whiffing crush counters in people's faces and still being plus. Oh my goodness. Oh, it's whiffing throws too.
That was the most emotion I've seen from MOV too. Did you see he was like saying something, then he looked at Dude, he's like, you are undoubtedly the best in this match. Like there was something in his face that was just like, man, you got me.
He knew how important that was, and I think that might have made MLB a little more antsy. We saw MLB doing like some kind of uncharacteristic uppercuts on his part. He would just throw them out whenever he had a lot of momentum, or if he was losing, it would be very predictable. It's just one of those things. You're fighting at such a big tournament, so much money on the line, life-changing amount of money that like it's hard to control the nerves in those situations.
Absolutely, it is. Yeah. I don't blame him. I mean, it's like the biggest event, the culmination of your CBT career. Really,
yeah, for sure.
A lot of extra pressure.
And MLB's been playing so long. This is one of the first times that like we finally were becoming esports. There was just finally money for you to invest that time into, and I feel like MLB, it was just a culmination of a lot of things, and you just saw that emotion just let out as soon as you lost.
Yeah, a lot more events too that reached out on an international scale. A lot of these different representing countries. But we're going to talk about that another time. I believe we have our next match. This led up to the point where we saw 2 Americans on the winners finals before we get into the grand finals. So we have winners final side, Knuckle Dude and Ricky Ortiz.
Yes.
Now again, we mentioned Ricky Ortiz. We saw her player card just to kind of remind you of some of the events she went to that shot her up into Capcom Cup, right? And a phenomenal performance from her. She managed to hit a ton of events.
Yes, Ricky was starting to dominate at the American events towards the later half, and then qualified. Then we had Knuckle Dude. We talked about this earlier. Knuckle Dude got first at Canada Cup, and then first at NA Regionals. Both happening around October, towards the later half, where Dude started solidifying himself as the best player in the world. And then it's really interesting if you think about their playstyles. Like their playstyles, so different. As a zoner, Dude just is trying to zone. He does some sobots here and there, but not really footsie heavy. He tries to really cash in on the momentum. And then with Mika, his Mika is very burst damagey. Like just likes to get in, make you take all this pressure. Ricky, kind of the opposite. Actually, Ricky's pretty rushdown heavy too. These kind of players are they're pretty similar. The more I think about it.
She can be, that's for sure. She definitely adopted the West Coast style of play of rushing stuff down.
Sure.
But the thing is, what is this a Armika versus Chun-Li matchup?
I believe so. I believe isn't that so interesting? You bring that up. What's so interesting about this? Why would Do pick Guile against MOV and then switch to Mika specifically against Ricky? Like, I believe this is just a Ricky specific thing.
Yeah, you might be right. Yeah.
I remember Do would tell me like he doesn't like playing Ricky in the footsie game because it's Ricky. Ricky's just had so much more experience optimizing her footsie game, and Do just wanted the character where like he didn't have to deal with all that experience. You have to deal with my Mika. That's what he wanted.
Do you remember? I'm hearing Mike Ross on the mic. Do you remember his opening speech, Capcom Cup 2016? That was the speech that like captivated the audience, man. It was
very emotional. It was very emotional. You could tell the event meant a lot to Mike. Mike had spent so many years building up the scene, and to see the scene get to this level was just, I can only imagine, very emotional for Mike.
And his opponent, please give it up for the fiercest Chun-Li in the
Yeah, I want to listen to this.
Make some noise for Ricky Ortiz.
Mike Ross, the MC.
Yo, this thing was.
I know. Oh my goodness. Ricky looking pretty casual up there, putting the dress shirt over the jersey. I like it.
No, that's styling, yo. That is a jean shirt.
That's pretty stylish. Oh, dang. Okay.
Got the hair down and everything. I appreciate it.
Let the hair down. I'm just trying to let my hair down.
Yo, look at Logan Sama. My guy is looking slim.
Ooh. He just got done bouncing someone out of Tampa. Look at Femi too, dude. They're looking extra sharp. Oh my goodness.
So we followed these two guys from Street Fighter 4 days and listened to them do commentary.
For sure.
Seeing them come into their own and handle Capcom Cup it was really awesome to see them at the stage and to see their evolution as commentators.
Yeah.
Really cool.
They really put that work in. They commentated some of the best SF4 matches. The Umehara, him destroying, Daigo destroying Momochi. That's such an iconic SF4 clip. You look at SF4 compilations, there's Femi, there's Logan commentating some bust down.
No, you gotta, it's, the T is silent there. It's just straight, it's just one word.
Oh, it's Busas. Train to Busas. Okay, I see.
Because so far he's been cruising, absolutely cruising.
You talk about Ricky Ortiz.
Absolutely cruising. Let's hear what Femi and Logan have to say real quick. I'm really interested.
Of course, because you have two Americans in grand finals, cruising USA. I get it.
Oh yeah, for sure. No UK top 8. Sorry, bro. Bro.
I didn't mean it like that.
Whoa.
Brutal. No mercy.
All right, well, one of them won an Evo. Okay, I need to take my shots here.
Let's go.
Come on,
Mayers.
Here we go in the ring of destiny.
Come on, Mayers.
2016.
Oh, Ricky. Do really slowing it down. He's not trying to go in too hard. He's trying to establish his pacing. And there's
Do you see that crouch fierce? It's gross.
Dude, that crouch fierce was one of the best things about Mika for sure.
It offends me. I'm watching it. I'm like, man, that is just offensive. It's not safe for work or TV. Boom! That was almost a perfect.
Dude, this is crazy. And even if Ricky managed to block another sequence after that forward fierce, another crouch fierce was definitely going to come right through the fireball. Wow.
Right over the fireball into the fire that is Chun-Li. Man, what a crush counter. So one of those things is that
Ricky in the corner.
so you see Knuckle Do kind of using meaties with lights to kind of bait Ricky into going into EX SBK. That's something Mika can afford to do, because once she gets past that level of defense, then she gets to start being more offensive and start her pressure.
I think the light kick, I don't think you can mediate like safely with light kick against Chun. Her DP is 5 frames, but I think what that was is just trying to feel out how Ricky's dealing with the command grab pressure.
Well, the second one was like a stand jab, right? Were you able to like recover stand jab in time to beat the SPK?
Definitely not. I think that was more. You couldn't. Yeah, you were gonna get eaten up. One thing you could do is just neutral jump on Chun-Li's wake up for sure.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha,
Jeremy. That's why I'm here, boy.
And
oh my god, the air legs are coming out right now.
Scares me.
I kind of like the back strong into EX legs. EX legs is 5 frames. Back strong is 0. So if you happen to press a button, he was probably gonna get eaten up by that the EX legs. Oh, nice checks. Oh, dude, that's the thing about Mika in this season. It's so hard to check over approach. She has a jump. She has a splash kick. It's just really
you remember how good her jump fierce was, by the way?
Oh, the jump fierce, dude. I know.
Jump fierce was ridiculous.
She kind of took over that domain, but man, Mika still has a great jump fierce. Oh, the wake.
Oh, I forgot that hit.
Oh wow, this is big. Does Mika get Oki here? I can't remember that. I think she does. Oh, the wake up. He definitely tried a meeting. So if we were on the fence about if you could meet Chun-Li's EX legs and be safe, that was definitely our answer.
Boom, there it is.
Look at Liquid Knuckle do back then. Look at that Knuckle. I haven't seen Knuckle Dad. I haven't seen Do in a jersey in a long time. Looks good.
Did you see that? That was not a thumbs up. That was indeed a go back down to character select.
Was it really? I don't know. We'll see.
I'm pretty
sure. Yeah, Do just wanted to control himself, go back to character select. Just take a breather real quick.
Yeah, I did see Knuckle Do say go down.
Yeah, definitely not up. Definitely not.
Shout outs to the quality of life changes in this game, allowing second player to choose whether or not they can go into character.
Dude, I can't tell you how irritated I was season 1 competing, and I'm like, all right, bro. Yeah. Oh, can you go down? No, I didn't mean ready up. Please go to character select. That happened so many times, dude.
But they're both good.
I'm glad there weren't players. I mean, there were some that were just like, "Oh no, you didn't say character select. That's a forfeit."
Oh, dude, I didn't mess with those kind of players.
Here we go. We're back in.
Yeah, season 1 Mika was definitely fun.
Oh boy! Well, how did you not land on the other side? What do you mean? That was ridiculous. That's so funny. Irish wins. Look at this ball.
Where is it? I don't see it. I want to believe. Where is it? Oh, missed the meaty. Interesting. Yeah, dude, trying to wake up with jab again. That was a big thing that dude loved doing, was wake up jab.
Back to the neutral once.
Also, very hard to meaty a lot of characters back in season 1 with the 3 frame. It's pretty hard.
I feel like just timing in general was very, very difficult to manage in terms of like season 1.
It was
trying
very,
to get meaties as well.
It's very hard, yeah, for sure. Oh, you blocked? But will you block this?
Oh no!
It's
the same like animation too.
Yeah, it really is.
It's like poetry in motion. You see Nadeshko just come in hot with the roundhouse or with the drop kick. As Mika comes out, it's the same thing. It's beautiful.
It is beautiful. Nadeshko could sense that Mika was in trouble. Oh my god, you got to guess. Good block.
Yeah. I don't even know if you could option select that. Like, try to do the option select. That might have been it because you saw like Ricky Ortiz do a standing block. I don't even know if you were able to option select Mika like that.
I'm not sure. All I remember from Mika is I had to guess. I had to guess, and I had to guess right now. And the worst thing is about guessing right. You block a block string. Guess what? Crouch Fierce coming in. I'm plus again.
Yeah, you're right about that because it took up so much space. Oh, the drop could just eat it raw, huh?
Yeah.
Not even trying to cook it. Just
no cooking. Not gonna touch that.
No seasoning. Nothing. Just straight from the packaging. Just gonna eat it raw. Got it.
Yep. Oh, there we go. Do is ready this time.
Come all the way.
I feel like Do's strategy changed into being more aggressive. Like he's just starting off, putting it to Ricky. Like before he tried to like play around Ricky's ground game, but that's not what he wants. He picked Mika for a reason. Oh my goodness. Yeah, look at all these options too. That splash kick, you had to guess between cross up or splash in front. That was so hard for Chun-Li to deal with.
Oh no, absolutely. I think that just it was like that for the entirety of the cast, really.
Oh, for sure.
Except maybe like Ryu. Like if you see Armika go airborne as Ryu, you just respond with jump short.
Jump short, yep, for sure. A lot of characters didn't really have a good DP to answer with that either. Damn,
that's a good question in the chat. Ace King said, "Who won the first CPT for Street Fighter V?" This is exactly why we have these moments. This is exactly why we're doing the show.
Here you go. Why don't you just stay tuned, brother? It's good.
This is exactly why we decided to turn the beat back on some of our classics, right? This is exactly what we wanted to do and showcase what it was like in Season 1 and how different it was, and the characters we would see in the top 8s.
I thought it was a very fun season, but that could be just me. It's just so fun. Like there's so much craziness going on. Mika was just. I definitely hated playing against Mika. I definitely hated playing against Mika, but everyone just had that dirt. It was just so fun.
I should have been a Mika player. I played Mika in the beta. I played at Sajam's place because at that time I was living in like Orange County area.
Oh wow!
And so I would hang out with Steve and we would play these matches. And I initially wanted to become an Armika player solely because of the fact she had target combo jab, short, medium punch. Which is exactly
right?
It was exactly like Yun, where it was just like that target combo led to damage. And I was like, oh, I can mess with this.
Yeah, for sure. And she kind of has a dive kick. She kind of does. It's a splash kick. Oh my god, time to guess. Nice.
Yikes.
I really could have seen you playing Mika. I don't know what you were thinking, Jeremy. Who did you play Season 1? Was it Ryu?
I played Karen.
Oh yeah, you played. How could I forget, dude? How could I
hey, you did this to yourself. You asked
me. I did ask you.
I kept my mouth shut.
It's burned in my memory. I can't.
This is your fault. You did it to yourself, brother.
I really did. Well, he tried to, or she tried to answer her. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, again, that splash was so good. It was the nightmare. It was like everybody's nightmare, really.
Oh, for sure.
Absolutely needs to make this count.
And look at the lockdown.
The fierce, man. I feel like the fierce was so good.
You love to see that. I love that juggle. I didn't realize that the combo counter, the numbers were in silver.
Oh, yeah. They only changed to gold, I think, with Season 3? I believe it was Season 3.
I believe so. It was like the introduction of like all the other.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
I totally forgot what I was going to say.
I don't remember either.
Oh, it's peanut butter and jelly time. Oh boy, smothering.
Oh my goodness. Good block. Oh, I would have cashed out with super. Oh, the confirm. Ricky is on to do. I feel like Du's bad habit, and especially in Season 1, was like, I'm going to wake up with a jab, for sure. And Ricky caught on to it. Ricky got hit by it enough times to really be aware of it.
Yeah, Knuckle close out the round after that fantastic decision.
Yeah, an arcade edition where everything went gold and like kind of I guess like Showtime-esque, kind of like like full-on esports is what it was.
Definitely esports,
right?
It turned. Are you talking about Season 1?
No, I'm talking about like Street Fighter in general, Street Fighter 5 in arcade edition. Once it was released, it went from having like sticking to like the Street Fighter lore to going like outside the box and like treating it like a
more like esports title, right?
Yes.
Yeah, for sure, I can see that.
More like a spectator fighting kind of fighting theme to it, right?
100%, yeah.
Because you would see like the character selection, and then you would see the character load in, where they have like the lights zoom out on the characters and stuff.
Right. Yeah. Like they really enhance a lot of the visuals, right?
And Knuckle do the favorite.
That was actually ridiculous.
That juggle was crazy.
Two of the top players and two of the best characters in Season 1 right there. That was only the winners finals that kind of set the tone. The reason why we said prior the matchup between NuckleDu and MOV, why it was so important was because I think in Season 1, or at least 2016, right, NuckleDu had an outgoing record against Ricky Ortiz in his favor, where he's eliminated Ricky Ortiz numerous amounts of times. Yeah. So we predicted, a lot of the players were predicting, if NuckleDu wins this match against MOV, he is very much so likely to defeat Ricky in winners.
Right, for sure.
If Ricky makes it into the winners finals. If I'm not mistaken, I think Ricky Ortiz had to fight through, what is his name? Don't tell me. I got it. No. I think it was Haitani to get into winners.
No, it was. Oh, you mean in the top 8 winners match? or Ricky. I believe it was Haitani.
Yeah, so I remember using my commentator powers for good. So I remember specifically tweeting this. I used my commentator's cursed powers. I tweeted, I hope Haitani wins against Ricky Ortiz in top 8, and I put a wink face. I was just kind of trolling, and then it came true, and in my heart of hearts, I'm like, oh.
Like, I did that. I used my newfound powers for
I was like, I tested it out. I kind of just like threw it a little bit. It's just like, you know, a little, like once you've discovered you have powers, you kind of like throw a little demo to see if it's real. It's just like, oh, it worked.
Like, I did it. I did it for America. I did it.
I did that. You're welcome.
You're welcome, Ricky.
So moving on into the losers finals, we do have another Ricky Ortiz match against the likes of the previous Capcom Cup champion, the 202015 Kazunoko Senpai.
Kazunoko Senpai. He's your senpai now. I had Pai. Now you got Kazupai, huh?
He's been my senpai for so long. Tokyo Button Masters or Mashers champion, 9th at EVO, 3rd at Japan Cup, but that's not all. He had a plethora of events that he went to, mostly premieres. But at those premieres, he kind of suffered a little bit, just shy of top 8 a majority of them. The only time he actually broke through was at Japan Cup, getting 3rd, and then G League in Shanghai, getting 7th, right? And then, of course, the Asia-Oceania regional finals, got 4th in that premiere. Needless to say, he had a ton of points going into this Capcom Cup because he was not auto-qualified from his championship win in Street Fighter 4. Very important to note.
Yes, Kazunoko, always a character that loves his dive kicks. Often his main Cammy Season 1. Cammy had such a strong dive kick game in Season 1. Her jabs were always plus after dive kick, and that EX dive kick always plus. So no surprise here to see Kazunoko picking the closest thing to Yoon that he could find.
Well, you know, he played Nikali in the first half of the game.
He had an actual dive kick, huh?
And a command grab.
But I think he just liked the way Cammy flowed a little bit better in the later half.
And it's kind of funny. What our producer in her ear just told us that he actually had a costume for Nikali. Remember that the Samurai Nikali costume was based off of Kazunoko's design, and he ended up not even using that character in Capcom Pro.
I don't know. What the heck? What's up with that, dude? Come on, Kazunoko.
That's great.
One of the best costumes for sure. Like, I think let's not. Yeah, never mind. Let's just say there's some other questionable Capcom Cup winner character choices.
I mean, to be fair, Knuckle Dew, oh, wait a minute. Oh, I forgot they skip over the intro of Kazunoko.
Oh,
man.
Man. Please.
No, Ten Man didn't do it, but
I
cut out the video.
Yeah, I know. Man, come on, guys.
Original feed.
Guys, I wish we could show you Kazunoko Bonk. Maybe next time.
The Kazunoko Bonk, man. When the doors fell on top of him. Or the door closed too early. Yeah, the hair is tied up, Logan Samba. You're absolutely right. That means serious business. I know that. That updo anywhere. That's definitely some serious business stuff.
100%. It's going down.
Anytime a lady has their hair up, you know it means it's time to do some work. It's just like, I'm scared. Like, don't have that attitude when you play me in Street Fighter, because I'd be terrified.
I am terrified too. You know you're about to get your ass. Yeah.
Different levels of Ricky Ortiz. I've had the luxury of playing her in like multiple times in Street Fighter 4. Like seeing serious Ricky Ortiz compared to like casual, it's a whole different ball game.
Ricky, I feel like doesn't really care too much about casuals. Like Ricky knows that she's very good and doesn't really expend too much energy. But when you see Ricky play tournament, it's like a completely different Ricky. You get a completely different side of the spectrum.
It's going to be very difficult.
And we see here Kazunoko. You know, Kazunoko kind of has those levels as well, but he kind of showcases that like every one of Kazunoko's levels is super solid and in competitive form. Like it's one of those things where certain players have mentalities of like, all right, I'm gonna go through like certain phases of my gameplay to see if they can figure me out, and it follows along the lines of if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I'm gonna stay at this phase for a while until they find the answer, and if they do, then I'm gonna change it up. We saw that in the likes of Daigo versus K-Brad. Right, when we kind of mentioned it, Daigo was running away with the matches against K-Brad. Once K-Brad started figuring it out, Daigo was like, all right, I got to change it. But that was the Daigo that K-Brad was waiting for. And Kazunoko has that kind of same level of concentration, changing up the phases of his gameplay. And I don't know if we see it here, but okay, I was gonna say, I was scared about how fast they get into these matches.
Right. I think one of the best examples of showing like Kazunoko's stubbornness is like trying to guess what he's gonna do on Wake Up. Like it's either gonna be jab, Wake Up in Street Fighter 4. Sometimes he'd be just Wake Up command grab. Like this guy is definitely a very stubborn player.
He could have done that with Nikali. That's the craziest thing.
Yeah, I know. It's really weird that he chose not to stick it out.
Stay there!
Oh, stay there!
I love it.
Get down.
The crowd is popping off right now.
The crowd is popping off.
I love it.
I love it too. What a great idea to let them commentate the first Capcom Cup top 8. It's so good. They really captured the hype, I think.
Is Ricky Ortiz taking
I don't think there's been a single
Dive kick. Not one.
No, I was gonna say, yeah. I mean, there was like one maybe on the first round, but I was gonna say, has Logan ever missed the Capcom Cup since 2016? I don't think so.
I don't know. I really don't. Nice side switch though.
I legit cannot remember, but either way, another dive kick coming out from the side of top.
Plus, if there's one guy that knows how to make their dive kicks plus, it's Kazunoko. Man, Ricky really just dominating Kazunoko. I think it's worth mentioning one of Ricky's teammates at the time was K-Brad, one of the best camis in the world. And what better practice for Kazunoko than K-Brad?
If she tries to do it again, you can interrupt with a button. Yep. You hasn't got the frame advantage.
I was thinking about that statement. I was like, wait, what? What did you say?
K-Brad was definitely a teammate of Ricky's.
That's true.
Yes.
That is very true. That's right. Yeah. Team EG. They've been teammates for a while, even before Street Fighter 5. Right?
Yes. Yeah, Ricky or K-Brad really was kind of dominant at the end of SF4, I think.
Man, what a different time it was back in 2016.
I know, dude. We had the EG curse. We had all sorts of things.
I don't even know if that existed anymore after like.
Actually, yeah, there's no Rufus anymore. I wonder what was the curse back then.
I don't know.
Oh, nice confirm. The third strike confirmed.
You had a lot of EG representatives too. I know Justin Wong made it into Capcom Cup this 2016 as well.
Yes, for sure. Another person that we were really surprised to see go into.
That's right. He went 0-2.
Yes, I know. Yeah. Well, I think Justin had a kind of a little curse of his own when he made it to Capcom Cup. He always would go 0-2 until like 2018. Oh, trying to get over the fireball and dive kick.
Oh boy.
Yeah, even if that dive kick hit, he was punished one hit for sure. That's way too high.
And again, yeah, this is losers finals. We just watched NuckleDu send Ricky into this part of the bracket, and Kazunoko, I think he eliminated a good handful of opponents. I mean, like obviously he did there, but I mean, like I think who he fought up against, but I think it was like Haitani to get into.
He beat MOV, and then he beat Haitani. Yes. Yeah. Very, very stacked run. Oh! That was a great whip punish.
So beautiful to look at.
He has some really clean inputs. I think it's worth noting that Kazunoko has some really clean inputs. Anime player extraordinaire.
Moments like that are so important when you're getting outplayed like this.
We are here in top 3. You don't want to be saving EX bar. You want to be closing those rounds out. Those rounds in the.
I like listening to the old commentary as well.
I know, it's really interesting.
Can't let Ricky get started. Really needs to slow down the pace of this game. Jumping in now.
I was gonna say, yeah, on that statement, when it comes to Ricky Ortiz getting started with Chun-Li, it's funny that he mentioned that. Like Chun-Li would very much so smother people on offense, but if you have an invincible reversal, that could spell the entire difference, right? I kind of see what Ricky Ortiz did to kind of, I guess, be risk averse in terms of what Cammy presented on Wake Up.
On Wake Up, I feel like Ricky was doing a lot of delay throw. Delay throw definitely the best option if you're gonna bait a DP. Kazunoko really known for letting them rip on Wake Up. Jab or DP, and like Ricky is dominating so much in the neutral. There's no need for Ricky to really overextend on when she gets in.
Yeah, I know you mentioned like what the delay throw, but that's when the option select
jump
came into effect, right? Yeah, jump back tech.
You really don't see Kazunoko using it at all. It's really interesting.
Yeah, and like you think about the options or like the situation afterwards. Like if you were to do the option select, you lose the estate, you force yourself into the corner, and you are susceptible to an anti-air if you are already in the corner. Right?
Yes. Yeah, for sure.
So, I'm really curious. In your personal experience when it comes to fighting this matchup, what were some of the deterrents from Chun-Li that kind of made you think, okay, maybe I shouldn't wake up DP?
That's a lot of things. Well, she had a ton of damage for one. There's air legs. Sometimes air legs would beat my DP or I would just whiff. So, like, there's a lot of things Chun-Li had in season 1 that made it very scary to kind of just ball out on defense. That was Ultra David. That was definitely Ultra David.
Was it?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I remember Ultra David was talking about that before. Elephant brain, bro. I don't know why I remember these things.
It's one of those things where it's just like, let's go, Justin!
Let's go, Justin! I guess he was trying to make it happen. Let's go, make it. No one? Okay.
I think we're the only two that get that reference, probably.
I know.
Man, we're old.
Old Niners.
Oh yeah, wake up DP.
Oh my god!
No. There were so many legs. There were so many legs in rotation.
She hit Kazunoko with the last hit of that SBK.
Are we going to see this possible? An All-American Grand Final.
What a performance.
Logan sounds salty. He's like, All-American Grand Finals. Oh my days. Oh my days. Not at all. Oh my days. Oh, nice. The legs again! This is just a wash. Gonna build enough for super? No. Oh, what a sick combo. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that was the MOV. I think MOV was the first one to like show off that combo.
Right, for real. Oh my god, almost hit him with another air legs. It would have hit. He teched. Oh! Ricky! Oh no! That's big. That's big for Kazunoko. Will Kazunoko get hit by DP? Oh, he tried a DP! Nice, Ricky. Ricky popping off.
I remember that. I remember that guy lifting up the other person. He just grabbed him out of the beanbag. He's like, "Come here!"
I think that was El Cubano. I'm pretty sure. That's pretty funny.
El Cubano getting lifted up?
Yeah,
for sure.
Oh my god, what a great match. Just such a good match. And that just segues us into Grand Finals, an All-American Grand Finals. I don't think we've seen that ever since. Maybe at a few premieres here and there. But, I
mean, literally last year. What do you mean?
Oh my god, I forgot about that. I totally forgot. Okay, yeah.
Oh, man.
Never mind. History repeated itself. But anyway.
Remember how you said you had an elephant memory? That's...
Hey, man, I was playing casual during that time. Okay, I did not remember. I'm trying to grind, bro.
That's fair. Listen here, bruv. We have ourselves an All-American Grand Final with Knuckle Doo and Ricky Ortiz. We saw the player cards going into it. I believe we can just go right into the match.
Yeah, let's go straight into it.
As we queue into it. So again, we've seen this matchup prior in the winners finals. We saw what has taken place in that part of the top 8. We'll see how it comes down into this grand finals. I don't even remember if there was a reset or not, honestly.
I don't remember either. All I know is, like, even if you got second, what a life-changing amount of money too. That was 120 grand. Of course you want to get that 250 grand, but man, like, second's nothing to laugh at either.
Let me see. Walking away with 60 grand was
it 60 grand? I thought it was
Ricky. 120 went to Knuckle Doo, if I'm not mistaken. $120,000 went to Knuckle Doo, and then third place was what? Kazunoko, 25 grand.
Oh, interesting.
Which is nothing to shake a stick at, because prior to that, winning what, Capcom Cup 2015.
I think he got 6 grand or something.
He got 120 in he had 120,000 in 2015 as well.
I think we're thinking of 14. 14 was when it was a little less for sure.
Yes, considerably less. Yes, my how we've evolved to really reward our players. I was gonna say, like, you know, a lot of hard work goes into being a competitive Street Fighter player.
For sure.
And I'm glad that it's finally coming back to the players, investing all this time into a game like Street Fighter, right? It's a title that has been near and dear to a lot of people, ourselves included, right? There's just something that appeals to us when it comes to Street Fighter and like the characters, right? It's just like it's so deep rooted in our history that seeing the evolution. Yeah, absolutely. Seeing the history and seeing it evolve into what it's at now, really benefiting the players that have devoted their life to this IP is phenomenal.
Not a much better example than Ricky. I believe Ricky was approaching like 20 years of playing Street Fighter competitively or something like that. Just an incredibly long time, maybe even 15. But I'm really happy it's paying off for them right now.
Man, I like that arena too.
Dude, this theater was just ridiculous.
I think they had Akuma playable in the back as well.
I think they definitely did. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Shout out to Damascus.
Shout out to Damascus. The Ikimasho!
Oh, Ricky reading the command grab early on. Dude trying to disrespect Ricky early on, huh? Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
with the command grab, right? But you're still gonna get it. I mean, it's one, it's Knuckle Dude. Two, it's Armika.
For sure. And Mika was another character like we saw with Nash earlier. The Crouch Strong, such a good answer to random air legs, right? There's so many reasons why I think do pick Mika now. Oh wow, I didn't block that for sure. I definitely did.
Nobody did. If you say you blocked it in the chat, I think you're lying.
You are a liar. You
No,
are a
no.
lid maker.
What? Who are you calling the Cootie Queen? You live
French toast.
What the French toast?
In the corner.
Command grab. Oh, I would not got.
Again? I knew it! I knew it. Oh, that's big. Oh, dropped it. What? What? Your pluses. What? You're so plus.
What happened?
What's up, Bifu Techie in the chat? How you doing, brother? Hope you're doing well.
What up, Bifu?
Oh, that was so optimal from Knuckle Dude with the splash just to get an extra bit of meter.
I forgot that Evo was on ESPN. I forgot about that.
ESPN.
We had to pick certain costumes for ESPN. Do you remember that?
I definitely
Evo?
do remember that. I remember some people got in trouble.
Nah, nobody got in trouble. What do you mean? I'm just kidding. No, you're right. You're right.
Hey, Man, what are you doing?
Oh,
You're
stun.
dead. 100%. Oh, didn't have meter.
Oh,
wow,
man,
dude.
grabby.
Dude, so disrespectful, dude. There's no need to take that risk.
Knuckle Dude.
Knuckle Dude-dad.
The doodad.
Dude-dad.
I'm seeing Ricky not able to deal with that drop.
The salty ESPN tweets. Oh my goodness.
The jump-ins as well.
Gulp, gulp.
Yeah, listen, I'm thirsty, bro. It's hot.
It's very hot. I'm sweating over here. Even though it's hot in California, guys, don't go to the beach. All right, back.
Don't. Yes, please. Practice social distancing. Dear God.
Do not go.
Help flatten the curve.
Dear
Jeez.
God.
Man, California is looking like a bunch of idiots. But either way.
Looking like, yeah, I don't want to get into
Yeah, I don't want to be a part of this
nope.
this entire pandemic. Here we go, Knuckle Dude again with the stun. Oh my God, invisible wall.
That was so much meter built too. Oh my goodness, dude.
Invisible walls.
Invisible wall. You can't see it, but you can feel it.
Yeah, it was definitely Armika. So Knuckle Dude, when we're talking about the ESPN thing, it wasn't Knuckle Dude, sorry. It was Fudo. Fudo had to force different costumes.
It was definitely both. Like Cammy's like default outfit is not ESPN friendly at all.
Oh yeah, she had to wear like what, the dress?
Well, yeah, he had to wear the dress.
Oh no, I forgot. I can't remember what it was. But either way, yeah, you're right. You are right.
And back then, that's when the characters were showing a little buttocks there when they did. Oh, there it is.
Dang.
Oh, the season 1. That was a great uppercut though.
Yeah, EXSBK at the clutchest moment too.
For
And again,
sure.
makes
my
some say
God.
that could have been a command grab if you
It really
wanted to.
was. You have to guess, dude. That's the worst thing about Mika. She had such good ways to get in, and when she was in, she just stayed in, dude. Oh, get a little too risky with the splashes right there.
Sit him down.
And oh, whip punish.
Doing it again, not committing with the bar. Like she had 2 bars to EX legs. There's one. Okay.
Yeah. I
Okay,
think
we're back on track.
He's kind of becoming unhinged right here. Like his flow is very like sporadic right now.
Instant overhead. No, the 3 crouch short into EX legs.
The Chun classic. Oh my God, what a character! What a character!
Boy. And that only left you at what, -2?
Yeah, it's like nothing, dude. It's really nothing. You're so safe.
Jeez.
What a character!
Dear God.
God.
Oh.
The light kick of justice. Oh, nice low check. Caught on to do walking back and doing crouch pierce too much.
Yeah, I caught him a couple times, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. God, that crouch strong so good at dealing with Chun's air legs.
You know, one of the great things about this game is the introduction of whether or not you get crossed up, and it actually shows the word cross up. I love that.
I really do love that too.
So hard to tell back in Street Fighter 4 what was a cross-up or not, even if you were the person doing the cross-up.
Oh, you're telling me, brother. Oh my God.
Guys, shut up, you stalker, man.
I know.
Shut up, you the corner having ambiguous spheres throwing.
Oh, I'm just crossing up. No, I'm in the front.
Don't mind me.
Don't mind me. I'm just going to do 50%.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, what an anime character.
60-60. What that was, 60-60. Oh, jeez.
I like the patience on Ricky, but it was just unfortunate she got clipped on the dead. Oh, there we go. We're in.
Brimstonian.
Yeah, we're in. Boys, we got him. No.
And you couldn't even press a button there, right? And either way, it's like if you didn't press a button, you could have got command grab.
Oh, yeah,
what a time to SBK! Oh! I froze.
Oh my God, he could have supered.
Command grab. Oh, okay.
Oh, like the
meatiest Sobot. He is a Sobot master. He is a Sobot master.
He is a Sobot savant. Goodness gracious.
Bars.
A bears.
A bears.
Can I get one order of the beers?
The beers, please. Can I get a flight of the beers?
Oh goodness, dude! What a character! These characters. This is just the epitome of season 1, dude. Oh my goodness! You have to deal with so much from both these characters.
Is it like? I mean, like I feel if we had a CPT this year, I think Chun-Li would have definitely seen a lot more light this year.
Oh, for sure, for sure. That is why I switched her, dude.
A handful of players did too. You mentioned Fujiwara being one of them as well.
Yes.
It would have been very interesting to see how this worked out for 2020.
Yeah, for sure. Hopefully, I don't think there should be too many system changes. Like, we haven't seen much tournaments, so I don't think it really warrants too many nerfs right now. Hopefully, they just balance a little bit more at the lower tiers.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious to see what direction they're going to take with the game as we are in complete lockdown.
It'll be really interesting. Oh my goodness, a Knuckle Dew special. Oh,
yo, we're already at tournament point? Bro, I couldn't even, like, cough or sneeze and you know...
You would lose a round. You would lose a round here.
I think I would lose a full-on game.
You probably would. That's another thing about Season 1. These matches just went by so fast. A round, on average, took about 15 seconds. Look, it's almost done around the 15-second mark.
It depended on the matchup, honestly, because we talked about 3 out of 5 matches in the top of, like, top 32 and how long that took.
Yes.
Oh, actually, no, I take it back. I think it's because we streamed all of it, right?
Right, yeah. That's what made it
That's what it was. Yeah, you're right.
There are definitely characters in this game that just snowballed you really fast.
So you're actually right. The point was of having like 3 out of 5 matches all the way through was because some of these games took or went by so quickly. You're right.
Because it went by so fast. Yeah, exactly.
You're absolutely right.
This could honestly be the game, dude. You're in the corner already, and then oh my God, and then
in the corner again. 2 more sequences. What a time to EXSPK.
I know. You got to do it. That's a sign of a true professional right there. Knowing when to call out those uppercuts. Oh no!
Doesn't really get you anything though.
And that's something we didn't really get to see a lot too. The usage of V-reversal because it was still getting fleshed out.
Yes, it was still getting fleshed out.
Oh! He did it! Oh my gosh! I like the response from Ricky too, trying to go under. Oh!
I remember this moment. I remember. Dash! You're dead. 250 grand dash command grab. Look how much it means to Knuckle Dew. Let's just look at the emotion right here. There's so much emotion. I hope they show the whole thing right now.
Let's see. Hold on. Let's take a look here.
Look at that crowd. It's so
packed. The crowd was ridiculous.
Dude, oh my God. Such an emotional moment, dude. It means so much to Knuckle Dew. Knuckle Dew is someone that came from a very hard childhood. So putting all this time into Street Fighter, just to see it pay off, it's just such a good moment. I remember I was praying for Dew to win this because I knew how much it could change his life. And look at Dew now. He's a dad. He's doing well. He's healthy. It's just such a good story.
Knuckle Dew dad.
Like Ross giving him all props. He's like, no, Dew, I won't give you full props. I won't go up and give you a hug. You play Mika.
Capcom Cup champion.
Oh my God.
Let's take it over.
Beautiful. Just beautiful. I was so proud of Dew too. Oh my goodness.
I don't know if we're going to hear this interview. Hold on.
You definitely invested a lot of money. Yeah, let's hear it.
Hey, at this time, I got to bring some people up to the stage to present the check. That's right. from Capcom, Matt Dahlgren.
I do want to like take a listen to this. We are just about wrapping up the show, but I think this is very important to just kind of see this final moment. Yeah, this skyrocketing Knuckle Dew into Street Fighter Infamy for pretty much the rest of the time, honestly.
Yeah, for sure. Dude, Capcom Cup champion, that never goes away.
Again, don't be fooled by what you see on this check. This man is taking home $230,000 for first place here tonight.
Wow, look at dude. As soon as he heard that, he just took a deep exhale. That's a lot to take in. That was a lot to take in.
Ah, so that's right. The DLC, add-on.
Bonus.
That's right.
What a good thing to add. What a good thing to add for the competitors.
230 grand. Oh! Ono-san!
Ono-san!
Yeah, Mike, get those chairs out of there. My man.
Yeah, let Ono come through, boy.
Oh, he's taking the trophy! He's stealing it! Get him!
Looking like Capcom Cup 2019. Where's Kenny Omega with the chair?
Capcom Cup 2016 champion.
Oh, man.
Knuckle Dew.
That's beautiful. Just beautiful, man. And then the confetti. Oh, man. I remember all this so vividly.
Oh, man, the spaghetti confetti.
So proud of Dew, man. That's such a good moment. Just to see, like, his whole progression and to see it pay off like this. Very, very beautiful thing to see.
Oh, man. What an emotional time. Such,
Feels good, right? Feels good, chat.
The first year of 2016, man. And then that was only the beginning. Right? We weren't even sure of what we could expect from Street Fighter V going forward after that. But this was quite the way to set the tone.
It really was. Oh, man. My heart, man. My heart. God bless you, Knucklehead.
Yeah, so that pretty much rounds up all of what we wanted to showcase today with our brand new show here with Capcom, where we turned the beat back on some of our favorites, and we picked Capcom Cup 2016 specifically because we wanted to start off with something extravagant to kind of lift our spirits in these trying times of the pandemic. Of course, we had a little bit of a challenge to everybody at home. If you guys go on now to social media, if you guys use the hashtag TTBB. It is the shortened version of saying "turn the beat back." It's the acronym, if you will. It doesn't really say out to anything, but it's like the abbreviation, I guess. Be sure to tag at Capcom Fighters to let us know what events you would want to see from Combo Breaker. I know Combo Breaker was supposed to be happening in May, which it usually does. We want to hear from you guys and hear all the feedback of what your favorite moments of Street Fighter V, no matter what the year. Actually, let's exclude 2020. We will not include 2020. It has to be a classic from past years. So from 2016 to 2019, show us your favorite clips of your Combo Breaker Street Fighter V moments, and we would love to sort that out and pick out our, I guess, lucky viewer and showcase and shout you guys out on stream as well.
Yeah, let's see your favorite matches, guys. Combo Breaker 2017 next time around. I've been Alex Myers, FGC.
And I am Vicious. We hope to see you guys next time. And again, if you guys are at home, be sure to practice social distancing, help flatten the curve, and always, as always, take care of yourselves. We'll see you next time.
Stay safe.